Good evening. As always, we are just outside of Boston, Massachusetts, and this is Just a Concerned Citizen with the Massalorian, and we are about to go live with all of you right now. Alrighty, we are in the house. Tony Denaro, Massalorian. Good evening, everyone. How you doing tonight? T, want to say what's up?
I'm doing swell. Good evening, folks. Happy, what is today, Mass? Wednesday? Happy Wednesday.
Wednesday.
How was your day?
That's it. Oh man, I slept. I actually slept very late. Got a lot of sleep. I was up to almost 6 this morning, just going over everything from last night in my mind and in reality, just other people. And yeah, it was
What happened last night?
Night, but I did get some sleep this afternoon. So. Well, we had some audio technical difficulties. I wasn't able to speak last night at all. People were cutting me off or not allowing me to speak last night. It was an issue, a technical issue on my end. So it was nothing that anyone was not letting me speak. Let's say hey to some people tonight. Yeah, we're good. Carlos Mercado, good evening. Juicy Guy, you covered. Prometheus, Trevor, Dana, good evening. Apes Blazing Does Stuff, Brav's Car, Punchy Nuts, Yuka Frita, good evening. Doug, Broke Ape, Doc Zeno, Andrew, good evening. I see KYP in the chat. Chris Callis, good evening. Man, we got 156 on right now, T. Good numbers.
All right.
Good numbers.
So welcome,
How's
everybody.
Everybody doing
Tonight's topic is what?
Last night was interesting. We're going to talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, I think that last night we were kind of getting into some conspiracy theories and other things. People, different people saying different numbers. What does Adam Aron actually believe? Well, what is his interpretation of the data that we're seeing? Where is this synthetic thing still coming from? I heard someone just 10 minutes ago before I came on say there's now no way, looking at these numbers, that you can't say there's not billions of synthetics out there. Just 10 minutes ago, a video from today. And it's like, I guess that's where you got to go for your info. If that's the narrative you're going with, that there's billions and billions of synthetic for the stock, stick with Al from Boston, Lou, all those guys. They know what they're talking about. Apparently, we don't. So, yeah, just assume there's billions and billions out there. They're never going to get covered. We'll never know. I mean, that's how we could look at it, I guess. Or we could play smart and deal with reality.
So,
what's your thoughts?
So last night, briefly, you played a clip of Adam Aron in an interview with someone. The lost tapes, I call them, the lost tapes of Adam Aron. And Mass and I now have had both a chance to listen to that entire thing. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. I don't know. I'm not an attorney, and I don't think Mass is either. So we don't know if Adam Aron consented or knew he was being recorded. I don't know that we can play the recording. I'm happy to write to him and see if we can get his consent. But since we just heard it and it's fresh on our minds, that might be a good night to kind of talk about this 30-minute interview at 1 o'clock in the morning in Kansas City. Where do you think he was, Mass? At the airport, parking lot or something?
Yeah. So from what I could tell, it sounded, that's the information I received. And then you can tell from the tape that they clearly were walking from one place to another. They got somewhere. It sounds from the echoes, they might be in a parking garage. And just from what Adam Aron said, it seemed like he had just left LA, maybe was returning somewhere, and was headed home. So they kind of caught him at a good spot. And he stood and talked to this gentleman for a good 30 minutes at 1 in the morning in that parking garage. Kind of going back to what I was saying last night on Sunday when he came here, again, 1 in the morning in Boston, not in his hometown. He's out here, taking 300 different retail investors and shaking hands and doing autographs. And he said to the guy at one point, he said, what other CEO is out here at 1 a.m. answering questions at an airport on a Sunday night, about their company. And I thought a lot of the points that the gentleman made were points that people have brought up here across this community over the last 2 years, right? They're all things that we've heard sometimes over and over again. But again, the thing with the synthetics, I mean, we're still making videos today saying there's billions of synthetics with no paperwork to back it up, no documentation. And again, the definition of synthetic, I think, is important here. What Adam Aron considers a synthetic share and what I or you or anyone in the chat right now watching considers a synthetic share, the definition of that could be a little different depending on who you are. So I think it's important. And this was why I was nervous about playing the clip last night, because there was no context. I didn't have what was said before that little clip, what was said after. So the only real way for me to make a determination, which now I'm glad I couldn't talk last night, because I'm glad I waited till I had this info to help me make a better decision. And going forward, guys, whatever Adam Aron said, you can take that, with a grain of salt. You can take that as gospel. But he said what he said, and it doesn't sound that different from what he's saying in public. He's kind of saying the same message that, the company needs to get stronger. The way we get rid of the shorts is by having a stronger bottom line and becoming profitable again. And the only way we have a short squeeze is if that happens. Because if we get delisted or anything like that goes south, then you type of short squeeze, period. So this is why I'm moving.
I want to.
Did you hear that?
I want to add. Since you brought up the word synthetic, there are people still repeating, even today, in my comments on their own videos on their own channels, that Tony said he does not believe in synthetics. Anyone that listens actually to my channel knows that is a blatant lie. I talk about synthetics all the time. What I don't talk about is billions of synthetics that I can't prove. There are many legal ways to create synthetics, and we've gone through the list. It's an extensive list. So if you keep on lying, I'm going to put you on blast. Stop with the nonsense. What I heard, Mass, in that 30-minute interview with Adam Aron, like you said, is it was very congruent with everything that he's said in public over the last 2 years. It was also very congruent with the type of material that I provide on this channel, sticking to the fundamentals, waiting for more movies to get out in 2024, and focusing, the fact that shorts focus on companies that have troubled financials. That is just a fact. And his focus is on fixing the fundamentals of the company.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a fair assessment of a 30-minute speech?
Pretty much. Yeah. That was his message.
Not speech,
and, the gentleman,
interview.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Interview. But yeah, that gentleman addressed a number of issues with him. And he had an answer for everything, as far as I can tell. I didn't hear anything. You might not like the answers, but he answered all of his questions. So again, we have to get permission from this gentleman to play the entire thing. I took this in confidence, as someone gave it to me and asked me not to reveal any sources or anything like that. So who this gentleman is and any of that, I'm not going to do until I have their written permission. So I'm working on getting that, and hopefully we can, and then I can release the transcript and maybe play some of the tape for you guys. But I wanted Tony to be able to hear it so he could verify everything that was said during the conversation. So it's not just Mass out here saying, oh, well, who says that Mass is transcribing what the gentleman said correctly? So, and he can back up anything that we're doing. And just to make sure we don't get the message wrong, Tony transferred the actual tape into written form so we can pull from it to get the exact quotes. So thanks,
I had
Tony,
my crack staff. I had my staff hard at work all day taking a 30-minute interview and transcribing it. So yeah, we have it. It's 14 pages, but I can't share it probably without Adam Aron's consent. So what we're going to do is maybe go through. You want to go through some of the points in the transcript mess? You probably have some things picked out.
Yeah,
that you want to
start from the top.
Sure.
Yeah, let me pull. All right, so let's see. Where can we? All right, so let's start with this because this is one of the things that I thought was interesting that AA brought up. And again, context is everything, right? So I'm going to try to talk a little bit about what was said right before and after. Okay, so first let's talk about cash reserves because he talked about that for a little bit, and he said in the past 12 months, you've talked a lot about how you don't have enough cash reserves to float us for the next 12 to 16 months. What's after that? He said about asking about raising the money from Antara, and he was talking about how they were able to raise $310 million between September 22nd and that entire deal, was able to take the stock from, remember, 60 cents to $3. At that point, we were going down, remember? And that $310 million, AA said, was vital. They had to do something. They weren't able to do anything else to pull off a deal. He said that was vital for them in order to stay afloat for this time until we can get into the vote, the reverse split, all that. He feels the reverse split is necessary in order to keep us afloat. And, I think we kind of agree with that. And we have been saying that, right? Me and you, at least. Some other people, right, have been saying that we think that we're in more trouble than we thought. And he asked about 2021 and said, why is it that back in 2021, I wasn't able to dilute? And that was Adam Aron asking, did you vote yes to dilute back in 2021? And, he said no. And he said, well, think about it. If that had happened and the vote went through and we could have raised $3 or $4 billion, where would we be right now? We wouldn't be $5 billion in the hole. And, that stings me every time because I voted against dilution back then because I didn't want to see my stock price go down because we were on our way up, right? So I turned down dilution and said, no, they have enough cash. But now this is not June 2021 anymore. It is April 2023. We are in a different economy, a different stock market. AMC is in a different place. Everything has changed. So we just comparing those two time frames is extremely difficult in order to try to figure out how this is going to go forward. You know what I mean? It's just trying to compare the two time frames they're just incomparable. There's so much difference what 2 years has done to everything.
And let's be clear, the reverse split is not to raise cash, right? Because I think you said
dilution
said
we're
yeah,
I meant dilution.
You said we're for the reverse split because that's going to raise cash. The reverse split, and Adam talked about this in the Q&A with the gentleman, is do you want to bring up the page where he expressed his concerns about delisting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me just put in a search for that word.
What struck me as funny is every time Adam answered a question bluntly and honestly, the gentleman didn't want to hear the answer. He pivoted on everything. There was no attempt to
here we go.
There was no attempt to even ascertain if maybe what Adam said might have some validity. I got that feeling. What's the summary of the?
So Adam Aron said, what did you do back in June 2021? How did you vote? And he said, I think see, this is some mess ups. I didn't follow the market back then, and I wasn't sure if we needed the shares. You know what? He said, I said, let Aaron do his thing, but if you didn't vote for it, then you didn't let Adam do his thing, right? I couldn't get behind it. Now looking back, it would have made a lot of sense. It would have been brilliant, and we didn't do that. And he said, Adam said, how hard did I push to try to get people to do it? We could have 100 million shares and raised 4 or 5 billion. Not as hard as even pushing through this reverse. I mean, you've covered that you want. Do you think we want to be delisted and thrown off the New York Stock Exchange? Would that be good for AMC stockholders? Because that's the direction we were headed. It's a simple question. Yes, we don't want a reverse split, but also we don't want to be thrown off the NYSE.
And when Adam brought up
that doesn't get more clear than that.
When Adam brought up the part about the potentially being delisted if our stock price falls, the gentleman's answer was what? But Adam, you got 90 days.
Oh, you got 90 days. You got 90 days. Yeah. And then what?
Like that's that's going to make it better. You got 90 days.
Here's the thing. I think all the questions that this guy put to Adam Aron were all good questions. I'm glad he answered them all. Because
he did.
Because now we have an understanding of exactly what's going on in Adam Aron's head, right? This is where he's coming from. He's not in front of a camera. He's not out on the spot. This is him shooting the shit with some guy in a parking lot, right? It's completely different situation. If he had come out in this interview and his message was completely different from what he's saying in public, this would be a big deal, a real big deal. If this message was not correlating with what he says in public. If he's sitting around saying, I know there's billions of synthetics out there, but, I got to work with the banks. I got to work with these guys. I might need loans in the future. What if we want to buy Cineworld or Cinemark? I need to make sure that we keep these relationships open. I can't screw these guys over. There's just nothing I can do about it. If that was the message, I'd say, what the fuck, right? We got a problem here. Our CEO is lying. I don't trust this guy anymore. But listening to it last night, after I got finished, I'm like, a lot of these things are matching up with what he's telling me. Just what he said Sunday night in Boston when he was here. It was basically the same message almost the same message.
If I could sum it up, I would say there was, like I just said a minute ago, there was nothing in this 30-minute interview that you have not already heard Adam Aron say, either in person or in a tweet. And I get what is upsetting to people is that he's not telling you that there's billions of shares and he's going to actively root that out. And if that is what you want him to say and that upsets you, I get it. He's never said that. And he doubled down on that in the interview with the gentleman. And if that's what you want him to say and you want to be upset about it, then you have that right, I guess. But does that mean that he's doing something criminal or colluding with hedge funds? I didn't hear anything in his 30-minute interview other than I want more movies. I just came from LA to talk to the studios about more movies, and our company, our management is focused on fixing the financial statements. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Not everybody is, and that's fine. But this is a binary black or white. You either are on board with that or you're not. I don't really know that there's any in between, and there's really no point in fighting about it either. You're going to believe what you want to believe, and we can all still have the same goal.
Right. Correct. Yeah, we can. We can all get on the same page. Look, at this point now, if everything goes through and nothing is held up in Allegheny, if it finally this is allowed to go through, then we got to deal with the consequences of that, or you sell before the reverse split and take your chances on a loss. I'd rather take my chances I'm going to make money after the reverse split, because I think Q1 and 2 are going to be better, and we're going to see better numbers, and we're continuing to grow, right? There's more movies coming out. There's big movies coming this month. I don't mean like, I'm talking about like big Marvel movies as far as Guardians, Mission Impossible should be huge. And everything that just went with the first quarter, I just really think the first 2 quarters of this, Like I was saying earlier, T, if I was looking towards the future right now, and you guys know I don't talk too much about options and stuff, but if I was, I would be looking around the middle of this year, sometime getting close to when we might start seeing numbers for Q2 earnings. I don't see anything wrong with making calls out there for a decent price while you're waiting for everything else to develop, if you truly are, and still holding. You want to talk about
I see
APE for a second? What he said about APE?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right.
I was just about to pull up the paragraph where he was talking about Antara.
All right, let's do that. Let's talk about Antara. Yeah, that's a good idea. Why did he sell to Antara?
These pages aren't numbered. Adam's viewpoint, again, guys, I get it. I understand there are people that think that the whole Antara thing was a setup. I'm not here to make a judgment on that either way. We're here to talk about what Adam said. He, in his viewpoint, the deal with Antara literally saved the company from having to file bankruptcy. Now, what I've talked about on my channel is in Q1, when they reported those numbers, it would not have been good to come in and say we're down to 300 or 400 million cash. So I can relate to what Adam Aron is saying. Am I happy that APE got shorted down to 62 cents or sold off? I'm not, but I understand that the company needed cash. Whatever price they sold it at, look, that's water under the bridge. I get it. People think that that was a setup deal. Maybe it was, but he needed cash to report on the earnings. Mass, I'll let you try and fill in the gaps here with what he said.
So they talked a little bit about raising that cash, the 310 million that they needed, the 110 in credit, and the 200 that AMC needed, right? They needed to show that they had some money on reserve or attack. He talked about the market setting the price for APE. And you guys know what happened. I mean, let's not act like we forget Wrench Capital, Meet Kevin, everyone who came out and said, sell your APE, it's worthless, blah, blah, blah. And APE took a hit. And he said, the market sets the price. It's based on supply and demand. If everyone starts selling APE, it's going to go down because the supply is going up and there's no demand. He said, it's as simple as that. And he got desperate, right? We got down to 60 cents. We're about to be delisted. APE was about to be delisted. So he said, the only normal thing I would be able to do is get rid of APE, turn it back into AMC, and try to, restart this thing again at the cost of a lot of shares for people, but value, right? And I think that's one of the things that we keep forgetting about this. Like, again, everyone's in a different position in this play. We all bought in different times. We all have a different cost average. I bought some shares at 40. I bought some shares at 4, right? Everyone's at a different position. And to try to insinuate that anyone is coming in and defending Adam Aron because all they want is the squeeze. It's not about that. It's not about that he's trying to stop this and therefore I'm against Adam Aron. I don't agree with everything Adam Aron has done, but listening to him explain to this gentleman what he's trying to accomplish, and he just kept saying, we need to strengthen the company. The only way we get rid of the shorts is by strengthening the company. As long as we continue to struggle and having to raise cash, they're going to be able to continue to attack us. He said, what's the difference between us going to $30 after a reverse split and they short us down to 5, as opposed to if we don't do the reverse split and let's say in 2 weeks AMC's at 350 and they short us down to 35 cents? What would be the difference? There really wouldn't be any, right? On paper, that's the same loss. You're still down 90%. That made a little more sense to me, finally.
He actually says here on page 14 that if they had not been able to make money selling APE, we would have filed bankruptcy in 2023. Right on page 4.
He said that?
Yeah. It says we would not have made it for 2023. We would have filed for bankruptcy somewhere in the middle of 2023.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep.
And that's what I keep on trying to explain to you guys. Like, they, in the executive suite, they are very worried about their cash position being drawn down. And so am I. And that's why this lawsuit,
Right,
holding things up and not allowing the company to raise cash, for me as an investor watching this, it's very concerning.
yeah. Yep. He should I just mention this real quick? He said right before they left, "I'm gonna shake your hand, say goodbye. I wish we could talk. Just roll the dice to see what happens because this is so unusual." And then he said, "I mean, if this goes through, retail's not gonna get what they want, and I think it's not to you. I'm just saying to the brand because people that are investing currently right now, ROI, because they've lost and are losing currently a significant amount of money. I will say, unless the reverse does happen, and those investors got people, he said people who bought in December have already doubled their money in 2 months. Right now, we're up 50%. All I can do is in my power is communicate, raise cash for the company so we don't run out of money while we're waiting for analyze and run to make sure it's a successful, thriving company, and the stock price will be the stock price. And some people are going to make money and some people are going to lose, but you can't manufacture it because you desire the stock to go up. You can't manufacture that it goes up. You got to earn your way up. Which, I don't know, it sounds like a CEO talking to me. But I get why he's frustrated with that answer. I don't like that fucking answer either. I don't like hearing that. Because I got tons of money that I've spent on this stuff. I don't like hearing we need more money. But it is what it is now.
Someone in the comments said what Adam Aron meant was he would intentionally file bankruptcy. I mean, from every evidence I'm seeing, guys, this company is doing everything they can to avoid bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is going to happen when, like we see with so many companies, Bed Bath & Beyond the most recent, when your cash gets drawn down to the point where you can't pay your bills or you can't pay your interest, the lenders will call all of your debt due, and you are forced by the lenders to file bankruptcy. The company does not want to file bankruptcy. You've seen them fighting tooth and nail to avoid it. And I'm going to push back on that type of comment. There's no evidence that this company is trying to intentionally file bankruptcy. In fact, the whole reason for the cash raise is to avoid bankruptcy.
Yeah.
It's not to help the shorts.
He was pretty clear on that.
It's not to help the shorts. And if you don't agree with that, that's fine. But anyone, I don't need to keep explaining this. My viewers know what I'm talking about. They understand low balance sheet cash. You are going to be forced by your lenders into bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And no one wants in trouble.
Any kind of squeeze.
You're going to watch it go from $5 to 22 cents in a couple weeks.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yep. I just think that he's trying. As far as why isn't, I see a comment here. from who is it? Lordy, good morning from Germany. Hold on, pull this comment up real quick. Why is AE opposed, says Shad, to calling out the shenanigans happening to our stock? So he addressed that, right? He talked about that.
There were a lot of
He said
questions
they're
on
going to
that,
continue
right?
the shenanigans. Yeah. He said just plan on them continuing the shenanigans as long as this company is in the position it's in right now. You
That
can
question
expect it.
was asked by the gentleman to Adam many, many times, and Adam said every time, focusing on the shorting, there's hundreds of companies, thousands that are shorted because they have troubled financials. And the only way to fix it, in Adam's viewpoint, is to fix the fundamentals of the company, get profitable, and or not have a unhealthy balance sheet. And if you don't understand that the balance sheet is unhealthy, then that's a whole different discussion. But it is, and he's taking the steps to fix the balance sheet while he waits for the movie industry to recover in 2024. He's doing the right things, and he's not. That's what he's focused on. Shorts don't attack healthy companies.
Right. Yeah. He said that many times, right? Talked about that. He talked about trying to communicate with the people and let them know what AMC needs. And I think we saw a video from him a couple weeks ago, right? Where he was somewhere saying, what AMC really needs is more movies. He said that, I think, at one of the stops that he had. I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because you want him to say different things, but if they're just not there in his opinion, then they're not, in his opinion. And in my opinion, in February of 2021, when I first bought this stock, I wasn't thinking about this. This wasn't why I bought the stock, because I believed that there were billions of synthetics in February 2021. I bought it on a recovery play with the potential for a short squeeze.
I bought it for
And
a short
I got that
squeeze.
kind of.
I bought it for a short squeeze.
Okay. Okay.
I wasn't thinking recovery
Yeah.
play in 2021. I'll tell you that right now. But we're not in 2021
Why not?
anymore.
The movie theater?
Huh?
Why not? Why wouldn't you think that? Why wouldn't you think AMC is a recovery play? You bought the Norwegian
Yeah,
or
I
Royal
bought
Caribbean.
Carnival and Wynn Casinos. I don't know. I wasn't looking at, I'm being honest. I wasn't buying AMC in that moment. I was buying it because of the retail interest in the play and what I had just witnessed on GameStop. That was my main driving reason for getting into this play. I love the movie theaters too. I don't want to see AMC go away. But that was a secondary objective. But we've all had time. We've all had time to average down on your price. If you believe in a recovery play, you have a perfect opportunity to average down now. And maybe if they dilute and the price drops more, you might have a chance to average down again if you're in it for a recovery play.
And I'm saying that from when it was $3-4 a share, recovering from that price. That's what I mean, right? Okay. Yeah. I thought the movies would be back and better than ever at some point. I wasn't worried about $4. I wasn't worried about losing money on a $4 investment back then on AMC. I said, there's no way AMC goes under. I didn't see it. And then retail started pounding, and then I really started buying more shares, right? April, May, June, in the run-up, I started buying more and more and more and more as we ran past 801, 14, But yeah, originally, and then I got more into it because of the retail thing. Definitely after that. Definitely. Yeah, because I saw everyone starting to pile in, the price going up, and people saying, the movies aren't going anywhere.
Scavenger.
There's a good shot for a short squeeze here. And we got a squeeze. We got a squeeze in June. There's no doubt about that, right?
Thank you, Scavenger.
And that was a huge up.
Goat says, Tony, does it cost Adam Aron to demand a share count? I saw someone posted in my Discord that Lou is demanding a share count from the judge too. Share counts, guys, come from the company. The company provides the count of the shares they have authorized. That's the share count. Now, what a lot of people are wanting is to know, what does the DTCC have? And I have the same question as you guys. I'm right there with you. How do we get that number? How do we know what the rehypothecated shares are that are rampant, these synthetic shares? I don't know how we unearth that number. But even if we unearthed it through a lawsuit or whatever means, anything that's logged at the DTCC is going to be a legally rehypothecated share. And so that's not illegal synthetics.
I know. That sucks. It sucks that those aren't illegal, because that's a lot of the basis of our argument of what needs to be fixed, right? And again, you can start with Adam Aron. You can yell at Adam Aron, but don't stop there. Keep on going right down the line. You can go the next step up, which is the inefficiency of retail to be able to keep up with algorithmic trading, to be able to keep up with payment for order flow, and all these things. SEC, Gary Gensler, not allowing transparency to retail, to Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell pushing money, printing money into the economy to lend to these people so they're allowed to go out and make these scrupulous bets, these risky positions to try to short down American companies. You can go right down the list. So don't stop with AA. Just keep on going down the line with everyone you got a problem with, because it ain't just Adam Aron. It's not the reason why AMC is at $3 now. Understand that. It is not just Adam Aron.
I see Mike in the chat, Massey, saying Adam Aron does not deserve to be worshipped. I agree, Mike. Don't worship any CEO, guys. The faster you can get that through
Hell
your head.
No.
Any CEO, you should not worship them. You should not create your own interpretations of their tweets. Recognize what they're all doing, which is they're fostering retail engagement to keep you engaged in the stock. And there's nothing wrong or illegal about that. But you have to be smart enough to realize that. And his follow-on comment is he clearly said on audio several times we were wrong about billions in synthetics. He did say that, and he's been tweeting that. He's been tweeting that for over a year, that they see no evidence of synthetics. So whatever he said in this interview, there's nothing earth-shattering about that. He's been communicating to you guys that the company is not focused on billions of synthetics. This is not new news. I don't know how people overlooked his tweets last year where they said that. Bed Bath & Beyond just said that also, that they don't have any evidence of naked shorts or synthetics. This is not a Adam Aron specific thing. This is company talk.
Do you remember, T, why he said he didn't sell right away with APE? Do you remember what his reason was?
He said that initially that they thought, that retail would support it. He talks about it somewhere in this recording. And then after it was out a couple weeks, he saw that the big institutions were selling it and that retail was not backing it either. And so that's when they decided to start selling. By then it was already $3.
Yeah, man, that was a mistake. But you know what? I gotta say, I was one of those people that thought that those two stocks, once they split, would track each other almost penny for penny. And it just didn't. It just didn't. And it didn't make sense to me of why that was happening. It didn't. I'm like, what is going on every day? I'm like, how is it we're getting all this money sucked out of our play?
Yeah, I failed to account for institutions not being required to hold APE. They got to hold AMC because of the ETFs, Vanguard and BlackRock. Right. Mm-hmm. Everybody wonders, why is Vanguard and BlackRock involved in every play? Because they own so many ETFs that are index tracking. And so they're almost by default required to buy all these stocks and hold them to track the index. But APE is not in an index. So the first thing they did was sell. And then you had all the knock-on effect of retail influencers saying to sell. And it was horrible. It was a bloodbath.
What do you think would have happened if Adam Aron came out the first day, sold a ton of APE, and then it went up to $50?
How would him selling a
Would
bunch of
people
it
be
make it go
pissed
up,
that
though?
he's first day? I don't know.
If he sold the
I don't know.
first day and when it was at $9 and then it went down to $6, they would have blamed him for that. Right? You follow what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
If he had sold the first day and then an 8K dropped the next day and it fell to 4, people would have been yelling at him for selling and dropping the price. He literally was in a no-win situation. There's nothing
That's how
that
I
he
feel.
can do to make people happy.
That's what I feel. That's why I feel like he's doing this, going out and meeting with everyone and greeting, doing all this stuff. I think he appreciates what the retail has done, and I think he's, trying to keep us engaged and trying to keep us understanding as the CEO of the company and as shareholders what we need in order to get rid of the shorts. He said it to the kid. He said, the guy said, "Well, Adam, what about all the shorts? What about the short selling?" He's like, "Well, look, every day there's 130, shares marked short. I mean, I'm not oblivious to that. I see what's going on." He's like, "We've talked about it. Don't do anything about that until we get the bottom line fixed. They're going to continue to short." But he said, but then he brought up about after the reverse split and the market setting the price again, saying that there's just, think about what the market cap would be if they went from 30 to $5 with only 50 million shares out there, right? Or 150 million. It doesn't make sense, right? You'd have a smaller market cap than Cinemark, which has like a tenth of the theaters, right? Correct? Or am I wrong on that? Something like that. We're somewhere in that range.
Old Moser says, "You guys defend Adam Aron too much." I'm not defending anybody, guys. I'm explaining to you how executives think.
We're telling you, guys, hold on, stop. Time out, T. Time out. Stop. Guys, no one's defending Adam Aron. Let's get this straight. We are reading a fucking document he downloaded today from the conversation that happened 3 weeks ago between Adam Aron and another person. If you don't like what it's saying, you don't have to be here. I'm just trying to tell you what Adam Aron is saying. That's it. All right?
I speak out against most CEOs if you follow my channel for any length of time, and I explain to you why they are doing the actions they're doing. It's all the same story in every company. And I want you to understand why they're doing what they're doing so you don't overpay for a stock. Jeremy Frommer, Roger James Hamilton, Adam Aron, every single fucking one of them is doing the same thing, trying to improve their balance sheet. It's up to you to be smart enough to disconnect from the fucking clickbait and wait for a good entry on these stocks and not buy them when they're running up. I'm not defending anyone. I'm explaining to you what they're doing. So please just recognize that. Explaining factually how corporate finance works is not defending anything. It is trying to help you understand the rationale for their decisions so that you can get a good entry or decide to stay in a play or not.
John, here's the thing. I'm a journalist, right? So I have some integrity. People who give me this stuff, if they say I can't play the audio, then no one will ever give me anything again because they can't trust me. It's important that you keep your sources, and if they ask you not to do something, you don't do it. You don't jeopardize your career because I'll never get anything again. So, I mean, either you want to hear the information or you don't. I mean, to say, maybe we shouldn't have even done this tonight. Maybe just close it down. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm like in shock right now.
Absolutely don't worry. I mean, Massillorian, there are always going to be people, my friend, that don't want to understand how fundamentals work or why it matters. And we can't help those people. We are not here, guys. For those of you that don't want to learn, this is not the right channel for you. We're going to be here long after this play because everybody that watches these channels wants to learn how to make smarter trades and understand financial statements and get a good entry on a stock. And if you want to believe in clickbait stuff, there are channels for that, but don't come here and hope to hear what you want to hear. And don't waste people's time in the chat. Because that's not what we're not here for that. You're just wasting your time. We're trying to make money up in this bitch.
BBD said, take it easy, lip gloss. Can't have you busting an aneurysm. Gotcha, buddy. I don't know. I would rather have you guys know what is being said than giving you little snippets or, taking things out of context. This is not, I don't decide how you guys feel about this conversation. I'm just giving it to you. That's it. I'm just here to relay the message. Don't kill the messenger. I want you guys to know exactly what the CEO is saying, something different behind closed doors. Shareholders, just like I am, and I feel like I have responsibility to you guys once I receive this to give it to you. And if you don't like the information, I'm cool with that. It's fine. Just don't kill the messenger. That's all.
Let's see let me scroll down a few more pages and see what other interesting little tidbits we have here. Oh, did you notice, Master Lorian? I'm on page 4, and Adam Aron's already trying to say goodbye because it was so late. And he went on for 10 more pages.
I know.
He went on. He was very
10 more pages. I know.
He was very generous in his time at 1 o'clock in the morning to talk to this guy for 20 more minutes after he gave that very polite, okay, well, I got to get home. I'm really tired. And Adam kind of gave the hint, and the guy didn't take the hint. And he stayed another 20 minutes and talked to him.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I'm glad you did too. I'm glad because I wanted to see this when I first heard about it ago. There was just those couple snippets that were played. I wanted to hear the whole thing. So I'm thankful that, I was able to receive it. I might not like what's being said, but I'm glad I have it because now I can figure out where do I go from here. And I hope all you guys do too. That's why I wanted you guys to hear what was being said. And I'll break it down a lot more in depth, next couple of days in a video and I actually will upload. But I really just wanted to get this out there so you guys understand. And if you're hearing something different from what's being said in this conversation to when you go to the theaters and Adam Aron's talking to you, then I would say you should, maybe I wouldn't trust AA if that's what you're hearing. It all depends on each individual. You guys got to make that decision. Yeah, old Moser, no problem, man. I just figured it was better than keeping it behind closed doors because then people are just speculating and saying, oh, well, he could have said this, he could have said that. Well, here's exactly what he said. And like I said, as soon as I get permission from the gentleman to play it or print it out or whatever, I will do that. I'm working on it, but I have to keep integrity to people who give me things. It's the only way that people would trust you to give them things in the future. We also don't want to be exposed to... And do as they ask.
And we don't want to be exposed to any risk of federal prosecution for privacy violation.
Correct. I don't know what the laws are on that. We tried to look earlier, but
Adam is very clear, and he could, Master Lorian, did he mince any words? He was so fucking clear in his belief And I know it makes some of y'all angry. I get it. I'm not invalidating your feelings. He very bluntly, as blunt as he could say it, told the gentleman that all of you that are looking for conspiracy theory stuff, he does not believe in that. 100% he said that. Is that a fair summary, Massalorian?
Yeah. And I don't know that I agree with him 100% on that, because I think there is shit going on. But that's his opinion, and I have mine.
We're just
We'll see
reporting
who's
what he
right
said,
at the end of the day,
guys.
whenever this is over. That's right.
We're
That's right.
we're
That's
reporting
it.
what
Doesn't
he
mean
said.
I agree. Yep. And I have faith in this community. I love the people here. There and a lot of them are hurting right now, and they need to know what's being said, because maybe they can't stay in this position for another 3 or 4 months. Maybe they are in too deep right now. Like I said, everyone is in a different situation. So this information is out there, so you guys can take it and you make a rational decision on how this affects you going forward, how Adam Aron feels, what he thinks about it. At the end of the day, guys, he's not going anywhere. So it's either you stick with Adam Aron and you ride this out, or you take the loss now, or maybe you make a little profit before the reverse split and get the hell out and enjoy your life. We all don't want to be here talking about AMC anymore. I've never flipped out on camera before in my life.
Did you flip out tonight?
A little bit.
Someone told me I was unhinged last night. I don't remember, so but I don't regret or take back anything I said last night.
Were you blacked out?
No,
right?
No, I'm teasing. I speak from the heart, and I speak my mind, and that's going to make some people upset, but I really don't care. I'm not here for the people that I upset. I'm here for the people that want to learn. I'm seeing on page 6, page 8, sorry. Adam reiterated what he has said in a couple of the interviews that I've seen posted on Twitter and stuff, that the profits in the movie industry come in the last 25% of domestic box office. So we're expected to do $9 billion. We've talked about this many, many times on this channel, guys. We're expected to do $9 billion this year, but it's that year where we get back to $11 billion, that last 25%, that he's thinking we can have a chance to be a profitable company and end the cash burn.
Yeah, that's what he said, right? He was talking about 2015 to 2019, doing $11 billion in revenue, year after year after year, going on a buy-in spree right before at the end of 2019, right? Say what you will about that, and people are pissed that he went and did all that, but no one could have seen the pandemic coming unless you're Anthony Fauci and the NIH. Everyone else was in the dark about that. Adam Aron didn't know the pandemic was coming. He didn't know we were going to do $2 billion in revenue in 2021. There's just no way to predict that. So bad timing, yes. You go on a buying spree right before. It's not the best situation you're in. You're in a bigger hole now because your revenue you just lost $9 billion in revenue in 1 year. That's a lot of money. $9 billion to a company. That's a lot of money.
Chris King.
That's why I'm $5 billion in debt right now.
Chris King says, how much debt did he pay off in the last 2 years? It wasn't a lot, a few $100 million. I forget the exact number. We could look it up. It's in the 10K, Chris. But the problem with AMC right now is not paying off the debt, right? They're losing. Look, guys, you can look at the quarterly statements just like I can. Open up an income statement, look at the negative earnings, look at the negative income. If you haven't bothered to look, it's about 225 negative per quarter until we get into 2024, where there's enough butts in seats to generate a profit. This company is losing 225 million a quarter. They had 1.8 billion in 2021. You can do the math. 6 quarters, that money's almost gone. Did he waste a little money on a gold mine and Nicole Kidman? Yes. Look, I'm not going to argue with you on that.
Ooh, stop. Hold that up for 1 sec. Hold that up for 1 sec. Just keep this in mind. I thought about this earlier. Highcroft. I know it's in the dumps right now. If gold takes off because we have an economic crash, and again, something we're not really talking about, but if that happens and gold goes through the roof, I don't know that it will, but if it does, Highcroft makes a discovery, off to the races again, guys. So it just depends. We don't know what's going to happen, and all we're doing again is speculating. I'm holding. That's it.
I just want to answer Chris's question about like why isn't he paying off the debt? The company is smart enough to realize that 2024 is the chance where they have a shot at having a profitable quarter, and cash is king right now. So paying dividends, doing share buybacks, all of that stuff should be off the table. Conserve cash. Look, I'm right there with you. Spending money on Nicole Kidman, buying a gold mine, you could call that a questionable purchase, a questionable waste of cash. And I wouldn't argue with you. Highcroft will be decided in 2 years if it was a waste of cash or not. I can't tell you right now. And I won't argue with you about it. Maybe it was. Maybe it'll be a fantastic payoff in 2 years. But right now, they're not focusing on paying off debt. And I think Mediocre and Mass, you guys told us that he said that in Boston the other night, right? He's not focused on paying off the debt. Is that what he told you?
I think it's what Mediocre said. Yeah. He said that last night. I think he said that. Mediocre.
Look, cash on the balance sheet is cash on the balance sheet to survive till next year. That is the most important thing. Taking everything else aside, emotions, conspiracies, just being black and white, finance, CPA, they have to have enough cash to survive negative quarters until they have a positive quarter. Then they can tackle the debt. Or if he raises an obscene amount of cash in an equity raise, $3-4 billion, he might do something with the debt.
Yeah, I would think.
They're focused on survival.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, they're trying to survive, right? By the way, I see Mike's in the chat right now. Put his comment up. I just want to say thanks to Mike last night for reaching out and coming on here, and bringing this, and bringing us, scenarios that we keep talking about. Well, what Adam Aron's saying, I think it was important, and I respect Mike. And we went last night during the chat. We weren't trying to fight with anyone. It was just a matter of differing opinions, and we hadn't heard this whole full tape before, so it was hard to try to comment on it or rebut anything because we didn't know what was said. I just had a really small clip. I had no context with it, so it's hard to make a decision or tell you guys my feelings or thoughts on it without having all the information. So
I'm going to say the same thing to Mike.
Done for the community.
Mike, thank you for me as well for letting us hear that. And as a fellow veteran and chicken owner, I love you, even if we don't agree on everything. Mike and I have had many offline conversations. I have no animosity towards Mike. We all have different opinions on stuff. As long as we can be mostly civil about it, I'm okay with people having differing opinions. But thank you for sharing the audio of this with us.
I'm just curious because CQIP's comment, she said, so Mike the Marine was telling the truth. Who said Mike was? Were we saying calling Mike a liar? I didn't do that, Mike. If I did, I apologize. Was I calling Mike a liar last night?
We haven't. No, we haven't heard the audio until today. So I mean, who could say who was lying or not?
I'm a liar. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I definitely wasn't presumptuously calling him a liar last night. I don't know who was.
There has been a lot of suspicion going around that this was a fake recording. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. This is not a fake. This was a legitimate conversation. And then it comes down to how do you interpret what he's saying. If you want Adam Aron to tell you that there's billions of synthetics and he's going to go investigate it, you're not going to get that out of this conversation. He did the exact opposite. He said, we're not focused on that. We're focused on fixing the company's financials and getting back to profitability. And we believe that is the best way to fix the shorting. So you guys have a choice. We don't need to get emotional about it. You have a choice. They're communicating very clearly what their plan is. You either get on board with that plan or you don't agree with it and you get off board and go on with your life. I'm not here to berate anybody for whatever choice you make, but if you don't agree with it and you stick around, that seems like a little odd to me. If I didn't agree with management, I would be out of a play.
Mike says, let's hear the second video. Mike, you're going to talk to, it's not on me, man. I was given it in and I haven't been given that. So as soon as I do, you guys will be the first to hear it. I promise. The permission yet from the gentleman who it belongs to. It doesn't belong to me right now. It is being lent pretty much. So as soon as I get permission to play it, Mike, you will hear the second video. Tyler says he can't comment on that legally. I mean, he commented on a lot of things. What is Sufyan saying?
Sufyan's trying. He's just like injecting comments to get me to say something spicy. He says, can you talk about negative beta? No one's talking about negative beta, Sufyan. Calm your tits, Sufyan.
Can you talk about
he's trying to get me fired. He's trying to get me fired up. I know how Sufyan, I know what he's trying to do. Last night, Master Lorian, last night I was tired. I wanted to just come in your live stream and just chill. And then all these goofballs showed up and started firing me up. I really did not want last night to go like that. I did not want last night to go like that. I don't regret anything I said, but I just wanted to have fun and hang out and listen to you and Mediocre talk and maybe chime in every now and then. But your audio fucked up and these goofballs come in and start talking all this nonsense. It got a little bit crazy, but I apologize for nothing.
Well, that was my fault because I made that thumbnail and then that sent CSI at 100 miles an hour with rabies attacking about his video, but he made a retraction. All I wanted him to do, put up the video saying, hey, I fucked up. That's it. That's why I didn't bring him up. Like I said, we didn't mention him until he came into the stream. See how many people are going to comment on that thumbnail, and he was the only one that picked up on it. What does that tell you? I don't know. But the funny thing was, at the end of the day, I wasn't so pissed about that it wasn't Cinemark, it was Cineworld. I was more mad at the fact that the article was from 2020 and not 2022. That was my bigger problem with his video. December 14th, 2020. What I remember from that time is there was no such thing as an ape back then. Or am I wrong about that? Were there apes back then in 2021 or 2020?
I don't think so in 2020.
Did we have apes? I don't think so either. I don't think so. December 14th, 2020.
Twisted Game Logistics says, Tony, do you think the DTCC or FINRA will allow short squeeze after the balance sheet looks good? I don't trust anybody, Twisted Game Logistics. I don't think, what's the right way to say this? I don't trust any of these fucking agencies to allow much. Although, like, if you look at something like Meagle or HKD, those went ham. But more what I would be worried about, what I see in every company, every short squeeze. I am the number 2 rated short squeeze specialist, according to my channel. What I see these CEOs do when a squeeze starts happening, if they have shares available to dilute with, they will dilute. So I'm just telling you, that happens in every stock. So if you get to that point where a squeeze is happening and Adam Aron in AMC has shares available to sell, I want you to remember what I'm telling you right now. That there will be a filing that AMC sold some shares. And people are going to say they killed the squeeze, and they probably did. But guys, it happens in every stock. This is very predictable, and therefore I want you to know about it in advance and have a good exit plan. I'm trying to be helpful. Right now, they have nothing to sell.
Sure, Tony.
Right now, they have nothing to sell. But, a month or 2, 6 down the road, Chapter 1 in the CEO handbook says he will sell and dilute in a run-up.
Bet on it. Bet on it. Love you too, Pam. Prometheus says anything that can be viewed in public or in a public space can be photographed and recorded and replayed per the First Amendment of the U.S. Supreme Court. Play the damn recording. Prometheus, I need the person who it belongs to's permission to play it. That's against the law if I don't have it. Not against the law. It's against my moral judgment.
Massalorian Robert AMC is in the chat. I think he is the guy. Why don't you send him an invite to come in and chat with us? I know I was using creative license, Robert, with my video title. Forgive me.
Is he really in the chat? Are you kidding?
In my chat, really, Robert AMC. I'm assuming that's him. Robert, you want to come in and chat with us? I'd love to talk, chat with you. I try not to be clickbaity, guys, but I do sometimes use creative license in my clickbait titles, in my thumbnails.
My clickbait title.
I almost.
Oh man, what's wrong with you? Clickbait titles.
All right.
Robert that's never gonna get. That's not gonna get lost.
Robert, can you send me a DM, and I'll send you a link to Massalorian's running the live stream tonight, but I have a link from him. If you can, I know you're on Twitter. If you can DM me on Twitter, I'll send you the link. We would love to hear from you.
I just want to say real quick, Dips Patel, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I'm trying to do what's good for the community, right? For everyone. I want everyone to have everything they need in order to make the right decisions. And, holding back anything from you guys, whether I like the information or not, doesn't matter. It's your financial futures I'm worried about, and my own, of course, but I'm worried about you guys, right? I want you guys to have the information you need to make logical, based, rational decisions about whether you can stay in this play or not, if you have the time, the patience, and the money to wait. Because that's where I'm at right now. I mean, there's no other road we can go down other than waiting, seeing how Allegheny plays out, this lawsuit, and then Q1, Q2 earnings, and the reverse split, float down, getting, all these things are now kind of floating all around, and we don't know how they're going to land. But I'm willing to stay in a little longer, seeing things getting better.
All right, Robert, I got my Twitter open, so just DM me, my friend.
Jack Prescott says, people were a little hard on Mike the Marine last night. It would have been nice to hear the reason why he introduced the video. Because he's pissed. He's frustrated. When he released the video because he wants people to know what Adam Aron is saying.
Guys, there are a lot of people that are very unhappy, and we're not discounting that. There are people that are unhappy that Adam Aron is not in agreement with the synthetic theory. And he was very clear, crystal clear in this 30-minute interview that he is not on board with that, right? Hopefully you're getting my message here. He completely rejected the idea. I'm just reporting what he said. I'm not like passing judgment. Don't think I'm defending Adam Aron. I'm just telling you what he said. He was crystal clear. He's not on board with that. His focus is solely on fixing the fundamentals. All right, Robert, I got your message. I'm going to paste this in.
We're about to go three-way.
Oh, great, Massalorian. You're gonna create some clickbait for some people tomorrow.
Why? Because of what you said? What?
No, what you said.
What did I do? What did I say?
I'll tell you later.
Oh.
All right, Mass, check for him in the back room. I sent him the link.
He should pop up in the foyer here, right? If he's there, or do I have to go back in the main page to get him?
No, well, I mean, you should see him, yeah, in your left-hand back room tab.
Yeah, not yet.
Pablo says, was it a video showing face? It was not. It was audio only, but I listened to it, and I would say, based on my opinion, it was a legit audio recording. 30 minutes, guys. I mean, it was very back and forth. Everything seemed 100% legit. Robert says, I'm drinking Alhambra tonight. I've been to Alhambra.
Hello.
What's up, Robert?
Hey, can you hear me, Tony?
We can hear you. Yes, sir. Welcome.
Fantastic. Hey, thanks for having me.
Is this the real Robert, the one that interviewed Adam Aron?
Well, I mean, if you've listened to the tape, you'd probably recognize the voice.
100%. I got it. I hear it. Yep.
So tell us the story.
Yeah, so I went to the shareholder meeting. I was on a flight to go down to see Adam Aron and just show retail support and just show APE support. Been an investor for quite some time. I don't mind showing my brokerage's accounts, and I show everybody, like, I'm not a seller, I'm a buyer and a holder. And this play means a lot to me. And just like you and Mass, I'm sure you guys have seen just all the manipulation in the stock. And yeah, just had to fire off a handful of questions. Thank goodness Adam gave me the time, because it brought a lot of peace, internal peace, to a lot of the concerns I've had internally.
He gave you an amazing amount of time for as late as night as that was.
Seriously.
So gracious, man. So gracious. I'm beyond thankful. That's actually one of the reasons why I didn't release or get this video all out there. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, I'm just an APE, just average guy. Like, you think about just what your average, retail shareholder looks and does for a living. I'm basically one of those guys.
You're talking to two of them.
Yeah. And
Robert, I'm curious, like, I mean, he didn't give you a lot of feel good for a lot of your questions. And I think you were very calm and gracious, and you pressed him with a lot of hard questions that a lot of people have. How did you feel? How did you feel driving home after that 30-minute conversation?
Oh my gosh, Tony, I was so nervous the whole time, because I knew this was my opportunity, and I just couldn't squander it. Like, um,
How did
you
you
know,
feel after, like when he didn't really validate a lot of what you were asking?
I was disappointed. I felt gaslighted a little bit. But look, I think the real issue is I'm not I'm not a market guru. I don't, I don't have all these technical indicators and different platforms that I watch how dark pool action works and how on balance volume works and all that kind of stuff. So I base a lot of the information that I was getting was from other YouTubers that I would just follow, and my convictions were high that this was a bind that the short hedge funds had put themselves in, and I thought it would be an awesome opportunity to invest in it and run with this movement.
Has anything changed in your viewpoint in the last 3 weeks since you had that opportunity to talk with them? Have you changed
I've been
any?
scared. Because I think we know what kind of individual we're dealing with here, in the sense where he's pretty well connected. I had to make sure I got lawyered up, and because nobody's trying to get sued. You know what I mean? That's a big deal, and I think that type of intimidation and fear kind of lies in front of a lot of investors out there, unfortunately, where we don't come up, we don't speak up. So I love the guys like the George Donahues and the Mike, and Al from Boston. I know you guys all have different opinions about these guys, um, you know, but the research and the dedication that they put into it, and a lot of the stuff that they've been producing, has pretty decent foundation to it. And yeah, there might be different opinions, but it's always good to look at both sides.
Yep. I always respect people's right to have a different opinion, Robert, even if I don't agree with it, as long as they can keep it respectful. And for the most part, Mike and Donnahue have. I'm going to ask you a question, Robert, and it's not my question. I'm just reading from the chat from Arthur. He wants to know, did Adam Aron know that was being recorded?
I'm not going to get into any of that. All I can say is
Kansas.
Yeah.
I do know that Kansas is a one-party consent state, so you should be okay.
Well, I'm told not to just talk about that too much. So I'm just protecting, what little I do have, which isn't very much. And or else, I would have fired this puppy up, and we would have been on all these streams, and hedge funds would probably be paying me hand over fist money to get their hands on this stuff.
I want to apologize. I said some very scandalous remarks, like it was a fake conversation, AI. It seems like it was, after I heard it finally today, it seems like it was indeed a legit conversation. So
yeah, I was a little offended, Tony.
If you heard any of my previous comments, I'm going to walk all that back.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And even when I tried doing that space call, I mean, I've never had a Twitter account, and trying to figure out that space call thing, I felt like I was botching it, and I wasn't 100% prepared. And like I said, very shortly after, there's just just slightly before and during, I had just this overwhelming anxiety of like, should I really release this conversation that I had with this individual? And so I chose to withhold it, and not release it to, whoever and whatever. So
the other question Arthur had is, how did you choose who to release the audio to? Because like I didn't get a copy.
Right.
I would have loved to talk about it 3 weeks ago. I've been very frustrated that just little snippets and clips get out.
I was asking questions, to other YouTubers, And one of the things was just like, hey, just make sure you've got legal representation type of stuff and all that. And there was some curiosity around it. And yeah, it leaked. So
what other thoughts or you've had 3 weeks to dwell on it. What else do you want to share with the folks while we have you on?
gosh, you know what? I mean, I got to tell you, I think these short hedge funds are in a bit of a bind right now. I mean, obviously, since the vote, the stock has been going up, right? Fundamentals are getting better, and I still question if this reverse split, which was my main question, was is it really necessary right now? And I've seen other stocks trading on different exchanges, high, good, pretty, reputable exchanges that don't get delisted for months and months. And I just felt like the timing of everything was uncomfortable.
Are you what's the right way to ask this? Are you would you say that you're fairly able to read financial statements, or have you never looked at a 10Q or a 10K on AMC?
I have, yeah, I have read them. Am I an auditor or like a forensic accountant? By no means, no.
But you see the losses that we're racking up every quarter, right? 225 million.
Yeah, and there's
And
my
we
perspective
have
on that is just excessive spending. It's if he would have allowed me to go into that, I would have asked them, like, why don't we just close down a handful of these cedars, clean up the balance sheet a little bit? Why
because
continue to
they
buy?
have leases. They have long-term leases, Robert. They can't just shut them down. You can't just close down a location. There's going to be ramifications. So they ride them out until the lease is up for renewal, and they don't renew it. It's not as simple as people think.
Yeah, and I will, and my counter to that, Tony, would be okay. So leases are leases, right? Some are broken, some, but he could have, this company was going to die anyways. So those leases would have, if it wasn't for retail investors coming in and stepping in and saving the company and just buying up all the shares and showing that support for the love of, movie going, that would have happened regardless, right? And so
Hey, Robert, can I stop? Robert, can I stop you for 1 sec? I just want to, in case you just joined us, I saw a bunch of people just jumped on, and Gus is asking, can anyone give me a quick update on who Rob is and what the narrative is? Rob, you want to just say real quick? I don't think you got to do that. Do you want to just say real quick what you're talking about? You're talking about just for anyone who's just joined us.
These guys can go back and listen to it, to the beginning of it.
No, they can't. That's why I'm asking. They can't go listen to it.
Oh,
right?
they can't. Okay, you can't. You're not going to put this up, and so they can go back and listen to it. No.
But the people that are just
You want to
joining
give you
in right
permission
now,
to?
Robert,
I'm sorry.
it will be available for rewatch. But like for the people that are just jumping in right now, just explain to them you were the guy that interviewed Adam Aron in Kansas, right?
Yeah, I had a conversation with Adam and at an airport, and had a brief casual conversation with him, and just chatted up with him with some of the concerns and questions that I had, and yeah, that was the full extent. And I had stuff with me to make sure I remembered everything that I was having, because this was a unique opportunity. So yeah, so I was able to get quite a few questions answered, and I'm so thankful for Adam Aron's graciousness and time that he gave me. And I think that there's one thing that really stood out, was the time that he really did give me. That was unexpected. I thought for sure he would have gone like, well, it's really late. It's like 12 o'clock
I'm a little
at night.
jealous, Robert. I got 5 minutes with him. You got 30. I would have
Actually,
loved.
it was much longer than that. In fact, I was on a plane with him. He was sitting in the front, and I was in the back, a few rows back, and we're on the same flight. And I knew I had to catch up with him at baggage claim if he was there. I thought for sure he'd have some kind of escort because he's a high profile guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just to back up what you just said, Robert. Sunday night in Boston, I was saying it was like 1 a.m. I was the last person, or me and Mediocre, were the last two people there speaking with him, and he looked exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
He talked for an hour, then watched a 2-hour movie, and then met with 300 people individually, signed posters, shook hands, took pictures, and
Yeah.
I just said the look on his face was just like, man, I feel so so beat. He just looked beat. He looked exhausted to me, and I appreciated this CEO coming out here all the way to Boston on Easter Sunday and talking with me at 1 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
Because I know I wouldn't be out of bed doing that if it wasn't for all of the people that I'm trying to represent when I go these places.
Yeah, it's all about perspective. You put a price tag, like let's just put a $100 million price tag. I'll go out and I'll hang out and talk to anybody anytime as long as the price is right. And I think you would too. So, and the guy's got his, he's made his money, and there's a good chance he'll be making more money, right? I mean, you think about what he's got at his arsenal. He's got, like you mentioned, 3.5 million retail investors, and that's power. That's what we talked about. That's tremendous power. I mean, untapped potential. What I'd love to see moving forward is retail presence inside the boardroom. I just don't trust who we have currently right now on the board. You guys, I know probably don't want to hear that, but me personally, I don't like it. I don't like what I see there. And the fact that we don't have any retail support there, it's embarrassing.
Anybody saying that.
I appreciate you saying that.
Me neither.
You can have your opinions about the board. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't have to agree with you on everything or anything. My opinions and your opinions, everybody has their own opinions. They're all valid in our own minds. And I don't want to argue. What's the right way to say this? You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. So, I mean, that's what I'd love to see is, for the APE community to rally around Adam Aron, get some retail support, on his, on the board, so we can have somebody on the inside actually helping, us navigate, where we're going as a company, what are the, and really put a lot of energy in that. I mean, you already see what retail is doing with retail apes are doing with popcorn. I think we're going to see some really cool stuff with that credit card. And these guys, I mean, all these apes are just showing up, and a lot of them are showing off in a good way.
Rob, let me ask you this. After your conversation and you hearing that he doesn't believe in synthetics, and we can argue on what synthetics are, what you believe synthetics are, what Tony believes, what I believe synthetics are. It could be different for everyone. It's probably a little different for everyone, right? But when I think of synthetics, I'm thinking of ways that they are manipulating the price by rehypothecation,
Right.
by algorithm trade, all the things that they're allowed to do, right? When he said to you that he doesn't believe in billions of synthetics, was that like a stab in the heart for you? Like, do you feel like that was it? Or did he still leave you with faith after talking to him that he's the guy to run the company?
Here's the thing. I had a feeling, because if you look at my channel, I was actually, Tony, I tried reaching out to you, believe it or not, a handful of times to share a bunch of videos that I got with him at the Phoenix screening. So I caught about 7 or 8 different videos, and he used some of my videos, but you only kind of chopped up a couple of them. And I thought it was a little weird how you kind of like chopped it up to fit a certain narrative, which is whatever. But like all the real solid stuff is on the on my channel that I was posting. I only got like 42 subscribers or whatever. I don't do this for YouTube. In fact, I got a full-time job I'm so consumed with. I can't even entertain a lot of the time that it would take to even,
What's
you
the
know,
name of
get
your,
that
what's the name of your
going.
channel, Robert?
I
Robert,
don't.
what's your
I
channel?
honestly wish I could tell you. It's just
Rob, what's your
basically. I think if you look Robert AMC, you'll find it there. You'll find all those videos. So I basically got a bunch of recordings of retail investors asking them really, really hard questions, really good questions. And I was able to get my questions in with him too, but couldn't have been more proud and want to get that in front of you. But I don't mind, you know, I honestly don't mind getting in front of these CEOs or executives and, you know, asking them questions and just being present. It just doesn't bother me. I'm not fazed by just being present. I just want to encourage, you know, all these other, you know, retail investors, just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid in there to ask questions.
I think I used a fair amount of your content, Robert, including like the hard questions that someone asked him about Philip Lotter and stuff like that. I'm not trying to be biased. I just try and present information. I come to this audience to present you guys information, not from a bias of protecting anybody, just to give you the best facts that are out there. So if there was other content that I neglected on your channel, Robert, I'll go back and look at it. It was not an intentional oversight. Some things I edited to take out the pauses and the coughs and things like that. But not to drive a narrative. I think I presented, some very hard-hitting questions that Adam asked.
Right.
That someone asked of Adam Aron, including like the Philip Lotter question. And he answered in Phoenix or wherever that was, the same as he answered you in Kansas City. That he doesn't agree with that.
Yeah, I remember that conversation with him pretty well.
And guys, look, you can either believe Adam Aron or you cannot believe him. That's up to you. I'm not here to sway you. You can believe a YouTuber who deleted all his videos and never shows his face and turns off comments, or you can tune into a channel like this where we're here every day to engage with you. Which one seems more believable to you?
Robert, what was his take on the guy from Boston? What was Adam Aron's take on him?
Yeah, he wasn't very fond of our good friend from Boston at all. But me personally, I really like that guy. I like him a lot.
Why do you like him? Have you ever met him? Have you seen his face?
I've never met him. He's just really raw. I love the type of DD he brings. It's a different
angle. Because he tells you what you want to hear, Robert.
I'm not sure if I'm fully.
He's pandering to people. He's pandering to people to make money. You realize that, right?
I mean, if he could be doing super chats and all this other stuff.
His very first video was a made-up spreadsheet showing you how the stock would go to $500,000.
And there was a billion synthetic.
It's a total fucking sham, this channel. Your friend from Boston.
Yeah,
have we
told
the Biggin story?
Everyone's gonna have their opinion. You guys are more than welcome to have your opinion.
I have an opinion. I have a strong one.
I won't bash him and his work and what he's
trying to bash him. I'm just saying, like, he deleted all his videos for a reason, Robert.
You can't bash him. The comments are off.
Robert,
you can't bash him, Robert, because the comments
are
off. There's a reason for that.
Do you not, Robert, do you not question why he deleted everything?
I have my suspicions that maybe, and not to get too much into the rabbit holes of things, but I just think he, probably had somebody, warning him that, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. And I get that.
because you're pushing a false narrative. That's
still
really
worried.
it's not a good idea to push a false narrative. It's a horrible idea.
No.
Right.
Guys, you got to get smarter about who you're listening to. Robert, I love you. I appreciate you as a fellow investor and a lover of AMC, but there are people out there pushing bullshit. And I don't try and call them out by name, but Al is one of the worst.
I mean, think about it, Robert, right? Sunday, the CEO of the company, AMC, was in town, 5 minutes from where Al from Boston lives. He's got and moaning and everything is up and down, this and that, but he doesn't come out to talk to Adam Aron face to face with the one chance he has when he's coming to his town. Why do you think that is? Why do you think
he came to my state? But he came to my state, and I drove 3 hours to talk to him for 5 minutes, and Al couldn't be bothered to drive across the street.
Yeah, look. I don't know what to say about any of that. All I can speak is to myself, the type of person I am. When I need answers, I go and I find them.
Why are you giving him a pass? You don't know what to say? Like, I mean, think very logically, Robert.
Just like how I'm not talking negatively about Adam, and I'm not talking negative about you, I'm not going to talk negative about Al.
All right,
each one of you deserve a level of respect. I respect what Adam's doing in a lot of areas with AMC as a CEO, with like popcorn, right? And rolling out the card, right? And him, actually communicating with, his investors. That's phenomenal to me, right? I mean, that's one of the things that really drew me to invest more and to engage even more. But I live by, I'm proof in the pudding. I go to where I need those answers. If I need answers, and Adam has it, I'm going to the screen. I've been to the corporate office twice, like my money out of my pocket, flying down there to get answers. And everyone should be doing that. If you've got more than 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 in this play, there's no reason why you shouldn't be taking time to go out there and get some answers.
Is Kansas your home state?
No, it is not.
Really?
Far from it. Very, very far from it. I had to fly in there.
So you were on that flight just to be like around Adam Aron, or what?
No, I was actually on that flight to go and see him, and he happened to be there. He happened to be flying out of where the airport that I was at, and we rode in the same plane. When I walked in the plane, I noticed him off to the right. I was just like, oh shoot. I was like, here we go. So, I saw that as my opportunity to, get my questions. I was going to do it regardless. I was going to go to the shareholder meeting and get my answers there anyways.
What time did the dog eat? Like 2 hours, whenever you left, babe.
Just another 8. Hey, Tony, I hope I answered all your questions.
Robert, I appreciate you coming on. If you're about to head out,
I am, and I will tell you, look, am I still worried? Am I still like on edge? Of course.
We're all on edge. I mean, look, there's a lot of tough decisions facing everybody.
100%.
We're all there with you. We're all in the same boat. Every single one of us.
But I will tell you, and I'll leave you with this, Tony, I do appreciate you, sticking your neck out, and at least bringing in some diversity and thought and collaboration, ideas. You've always been that way. Do I feel like maybe you lean a little bit more towards, Adam Aron is, up there, maybe? Yeah. But it's a common, I appreciate that.
It's a common theme, Robert. You're not alone. I trust, guys, I'm going to say this as many times as I need to say it. Trust no CEO, but understand their motivations. If you can take home that message, the stock market will make a lot more sense to you. Trust nobody. I don't trust Adam Aron, but I understand his motivations.
Yeah. All right, Tony. Wish you all the best, man. And yeah, I'll keep an eye out for you. You know, maybe one of these days we can hang out and have a beer or something. You know, once this thing, I'm hoping this thing moas.
What is your
really
home
hoping.
state? What's your home state, Robert?
I don't know if I should say.
Oh, come on. I'm in Texas. Tell me where you're at.
I'm in California, sunny,
All right.
sunshine,
So
California.
we're planning on heading up to Gig Harbor, Washington in August. Maybe you can come up and hang out with us.
We're at
Gig Harbor, Washington.
Gig Harbor, Washington. I've never heard of that.
Not too far out of Seattle, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty up there.
Yeah. Anyways,
well, DM me. You know, I'm always good for a beer and just, you know, good fellowship and hanging out with good people.
I'd love to hang out with any of you guys. If you like a movie company, if you like AMC, if you're an investor, whatever your opinions, I would happily hang out with any of you guys, unless you've doxed me or talked shit about me. You can fuck off.
Oh boy. All right, Tony. Well, you guys have a good night.
Take care, Robert. Thank you for coming on.
Robert, before you go, just want to make sure I have your permission to that tape, right?
Negative.
Correct? No, I don't.
Negative.
He said no.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Don't get me in trouble.
Okay. You got it. No, that's the only thing I got is my word.
We will respect that, Robert.
I'm just trying to live a simple 100%. Life, guys. You know, that's really what I'm all about. It's just living a simple life. You know, I'm not trying to get in the law or.
Nobody wants a lawsuit, right, Robert?
Nobody wants anything like that. You know.
We got you. We got your back.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, God bless you guys. God bless all those apes out there. I really mean that, man. I really mean that. I'm a big believer, and I really hope each and every one of these, you know, apes get rewarded handsomely. You know, I mean, this fraud, this criminality that's going on is just so bizarre.
Look, Robert, let me ask you one more question. Is there anyone else that you think is at fault for what's going on right now? Or do you think this lies solely on Adam Aron's shoulders?
I wouldn't even put, you know what? Yes, I would have to say likely maybe the SEC could do a little more, you know, I don't want to say their job, but just regulate a little bit more. I mean, AMC was on
Why not? Why not? They should do their job. That's what they get paid for.
I don't want them coming after me. That's why. Just like any one of these apes, you know, that don't show their face and have, you know, fictitious names, you know. They don't want a lawsuit. They don't want to be dealing with the, you know, the sideways stuff.
That's why they can get away with saying anything, right?
Yeah.
You can say anything when you are incognito.
Yeah. And, you know, that's why I respect what you do and I respect what Tony does. You know, you guys have your face. You guys are fully exposed. You guys both have families, likely wives and kids. You know,
and they've all been trashed on the internet. They've all been trashed on the internet. Welcome to the fucking internet.
I get that, you know, and that's hard. You know, that puts a lot of burden on all your relationships. You know, you're going to get a lot of criticism from people that are close to you. And that's not easy, you know, when you've got people that are doubting you and you just want to prove them wrong. But
nobody that's close to us doubts us, Robert. It's only the people that disagree with us.
Yeah.
Hey, you seem like a good person, Robert. I appreciate you taking the time to come on, sharing your thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever you're down here in SoCal, I'll host you.
Me too. Thank you, Robert, very much for coming on.
Yeah, man. All right. All the best to you guys.
Take care.
God bless you. All right. Bye.
All right, man. Take it easy. What's up, Philly?
Phil for real.
What's happening, fellas? Long time no see.
Cover?
Well, I've been recovering from a broken shoulder, obviously.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you have?
I got a cracked deltoid. Hold on, it gets crazy. I got a fractured neck here. I got a cracked clavicle. I have a fractured deltoid, and my shoulder blade is cracked. What?
Did you fall down some stairs like my wife did, Phil? Or what the fuck happened? Did you get in a fight?
Remember when I built my kids that wooden treehouse?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. I made a video about it. So I pulled my arm
Did you fall out of
bad and I hurt it, but I didn't think I injured myself. It came back to haunt me, and yeah, I'm dealing with it now. But I'm about 70% better now. So that's why my content I kind of dropped off the face of the earth because the other FUD heavy YouTubers thinking, oh yeah, you sure showed Phil. No, Phil was just dealing with physical issues. I still feel the same and never will change.
Sorry to hear about your injuries, Phil, but I'm glad to hear that you're healing. It sounds like you're healing, right? 70%.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty. It was much worse about maybe a week or two ago. I mean, every day it feels like I'm cracking my.
Your audio is a little weak right now, Phil, by the way. And I know you usually have very strong audio. It feels like you're talking from a closet or a back room.
All right.
Do you hear that, Mass?
Give me a second.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been live.
Hey guys, everyone who's still hanging in there, I want to say I appreciate
Phil, at all.
I did. Give me a second here. Hold up.
Goat says we did a drive-by on Phil. Uh-oh. I was just going to say I appreciate everybody who's still hanging with us on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm on computer.
Agreed.
Okay. It's doing what it wants to do. Okay, here we go. How about now?
Oh.
Nope.
All right, hold up.
It sounds like your audio is coming out of your speakers of your computer.
How about now?
Phil, have you tried turning it off and turning it back on?
All right. Hold on. Hold up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Let me hold on. Video settings, make sure audio. Give me a second, guys. I'm so sorry.
All right. I'm gonna while he's figuring that out, I'm gonna go through this document one more time and see if I'm on page 8. We got 6 more pages. Let me see if there's any other tidbits we can chat about, Mass.
I'm really confused about that whole thing. I thought he was I was hearing him wrong, but I thought did he not at first say that everyone needs to hear it, or am I mistaken?
I don't remember him saying that, but I don't know.
How about now, guys?
That is better, Phil.
Perfect.
What did
My
you
bad.
do?
Okay, yes, I did hear Mr. What's his name? Robert?
What did you change on your audio for those of us that occasionally
So
have
what
mistakes?
happened was my audio was coming through my camera instead of my mic.
Okay. Just in case I ever make that mistake again.
Yeah, it's the settings. My bad.
Much better.
But as far as let me just explain it to the people watching. I broke my shoulder somehow. I guess I was doing too much dancing in the live stream, and I woke it up or something. I don't know, but I'm about 70% better. Feeling, it's annoying, but what can I do except just sit back and heal? That's kind of like why my content's kind of been falling off. I kind of haven't been saying much because of it's painful. But I'm 70% good. That means the 30% is not like, I'm not in pain right now, but I will get in pain. But besides that, I'm doing okay. Thank you for all the well wishes and speedy recovery. I did hear Mr. Robert say he trusts a certain individual. well, let me just give my opinion.
All right, lay it out.
All right. Okay. First, you got the FUD that comes out. Okay, from him specifically about AMC, and then a few days later, popcorn gets sold in Walmart. Now he's bullish. Oh, I'm excited. So excited. But damn, just a few videos ago, you were making it seem like we were getting screwed and everything else is happening. And oh, we should just get out now. I'm on fire, is what I heard. Then, boom, this lawsuit thing happens. You know, he's talking about letters and all this and that. Now AMC's credit card comes out today. Guys, this is great. Oh, so what happened to all that stuff you were saying before? Now, that's why I'm like, okay, some people have to realize some people are here to psychologically mess with you. They're not messing with me, though.
Lou does the same thing.
And everything you can imagine.
It's this emotional flip-flopping to prey on people's emotions and basically manipulate them into coming back to the channel to see what he's going to say next. Like, my message has been very consistent. These other guys flip-flop to to pull people in like moths to a flame.
I agree. I 100% agree.
At noon, he loves AMC, and 4 hours later, Adam Aron is about to kill the company.
That's what I seen. I'm like, wait a minute.
It's so fucking obvious to anybody who has rational thought.
But you know what? One thing I do appreciate is, like, and I know YouTube can be so negative because I guess short sellers have bought YouTube, but when I'm on Twitter, and I know Twitter is not the best place, but I do see the community, the real community, not the community that says, oh, we're just all about a short squeeze. That's not the community. The community is buying corn. The community is helping with the fundamentals. The community doesn't care about YouTube. The community is going to see Mario. They're going to see Evil Dead. They're going to see, whatever movie's out. They're buying everything, and they're sharing it with us. And that's what I truly love about it. They're getting A-list. They're getting the, Highcroft merch. Oh, I'm loving it because this is the time where I feel, we could come together and be a positive force, right? Because it got a little weird when this reverse stock split situation came about. The thing about this play, the media is still we're still going through the same thing that we're dealing with from 2 years ago. A movie came in and now AMC's got a little bump there. It might be something. And, they don't want to educate the people about, how does the cost of borrow get so high? Can anyone explain this? Nobody wants to explain it on CNBC or, Yahoo Finance. Nobody wants to explain that to the people, but the people have to go and find out themselves, which is why people have strong conviction, which is why, I'm confused on certain individuals that refuse to go any further on due diligence because their conviction could be just as strong as ours, or at least mine, at least. But who am I? I'm just a guy that makes music. What do I know?
And I'm just a D-rated actor, Phil.
I feel you. Hey, I love movies, by the way.
I'm gonna take some guitar lessons, Phil, so they can call me a failed rock star too.
Oh man, they're gonna come out with everything. I was doxxed.
Oh yeah, we've all been doxxed, Phil.
I've been. And that shit happened I'm sorry, cursing.
Massalorian.
And that happened like 15 years ago, and I'm like, oh sure, let's talk about it because I have no fear. Like I said.
Phil, the more they talk about you, the more they drive people to your channel.
Whatever they want. Hear you say it again?
The more they talk about you, the more they drive people to your channel. They're just doing you a favor.
Yeah, and they drove it all to my Twitter because I'm barely on YouTube anymore. I mean, but I do like the I know I'm due to make some video. Oh, Masslorian, I don't think you realize I gave you a shout out on one of my music videos.
You did? Thank you, bro. What? Which one?
You didn't hear the song? I got a song with Wolfie. It goes like this. It goes, cue the speeder,
what?
cue the speeder, cue the speeder, cue the speeder. Roll the film.
No, I haven't heard that.
I heard that.
Wait,
one.
how old is it? How old is it?
Oh, that shit is like, I don't know, probably 3 months.
What? No one even informed me that it was out there.
Bro, I
have no idea it existed. It's on your channel?
Sure,
right now?
Don't know if I don't know. I think I commented on one of your videos. I don't think you probably didn't see it, but I got Wolfie on there and everything.
Yeah, you do? Okay. I'll watch it when we get off.
Someone's asking about NCMI, but I don't understand the comment. Adam Aron made a bag. Guys,
NMCI?
In NMCI, Adam Aron, AMC got a distribution for free from NCMI like they do annually. I don't know. I'm not trying to interpret what they mean by made a bag. I've seen videos where people said
Adam Aron got free shares is what I saw his tweet say.
Yeah, people are saying that he bought it. Why is he wasting money? He didn't buy shit. That was a distribution. So maybe the gentleman can clarify his comment. While you're pulling that up for IM10s, he said, what do I think Adam Aron will do with NCMI? I think he will sell it. You can go back and look at the history. Go to SEC Edgar and look up NCMI. Most of the time, once AMC gets the distribution, they sell the shares. In fact, we sold all of our shares in NCMI, we being AMC, in 2022. So AMC held none, and we got a new distribution. I would expect, I can't tell you what month, but the company is about to go bankrupt. So I doubt that AMC will be holding them. I have no good explanation why it ran up. I think it ran up because people thought AMC bought it, but that was misinformation. So hopefully, if we got a distribution at 13 cents and they were able to sell at 40, that'd be beautiful. I don't think Adam Aron has any desire to hold that stock.
What do you think? And then not just dilution. Let's say this is super successful, right? And he smart dilutes, okay, and it works and it's effective. What do you think his options will be afterwards? Like as far as what will be the next move to shake the shorts? Because what many people need to realize, that's what's going on. Well, that's from what I believe, from what I see, is we're here to shake the shorts.
There's two moves, logically speaking, to shake the shorts. Improve the balance sheet and get to a profitable quarter. Those are the two moves.
So you say improve the balance sheet, which is, I agree with that. I've heard that a lot of times.
Improve the balance sheet, Phil, could be two things, right? You can either put cash on the balance sheet, that improves it, or you put cash on the balance sheet and pay off some debt. I don't think their motivation is to pay off debt because they want enough cash to survive till middle of 2024. So that is the primary objective. Get enough cash on there to look good till middle of 2024. That's fine. That will help in the eye of Wall Street. That will help things. Paying off debt, debt is not the big deal.
Yeah. And I'm just surprised that that Gensler hasn't been impeached yet. Like, how do you let a stock sit on the threshold list for 30?
Phil, how many times have you and I chatted about threshold list?
I know. I'm just
Don't make me go there, Phil. Threshold list is irrelevant.
No, I know that. I get that. I get it. It's irrelevant.
You don't agree with me, and I still love you. but I'm going to keep telling you.
No, I do agree with you. That's the thing. I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, if I'm hired to do a job or I'm voted in to do a job and I don't do my job, you know,
I only mean, and I love you, Phil. The only reason it's irrelevant is they have so many ways to get off of it.
Oh yeah, I saw them. They were saying something about they transferred it to other banks and then they just freaking failed.
They have so many ways to get off.
Yeah,
I don't even. That's why I don't talk about it, Phil.
Yeah.
Whether it's legitimate or not, you know, whether they really closed out the positions or not, covered the FTDs or not, I'm right there with you, buddy. They probably figured out some ill-gotten way to cover
and
those
that's the crazy
failures.
thing about this play. You know, you could be a regular, you know, working person, then you get into this stock and your eyes are just open to all sorts of things, you know, that's just crazy in the market.
They have so many legal ways to get off the FTD list,
Right.
it would make your head spin. That's why I don't talk about it. It's a great indicator that there's problems, but I don't get excited about it.
Yeah, and I don't blame you.
It's an indicator.
Just took the flame out. I get it.
I'm sorry. I love you still, but I'm not saying that. You know me, Phil. You and I have had this conversation many times. It's not. You shouldn't just like discount it. It's indicating that they're not delivering a share that they legally are obligated to deliver. Right? We agree it's a problem. The issue is they have many legal ways to get out of that obligation. So they will always get out of it, whether they cover or they borrow from the obligation warehouse.
Yeah, and they're back on there tonight. I seen it, and I'm like, well, we're back on there, so we'll see what happens with that. But you know, I'm not making this like a catalyst.
The best thing we can focus on, Phil, is the cost to borrow is high, which means that the shares that they have access to are low. They're not zero, but they're low. And the fire is set, Phil. If Adam Aron could just drop one bit of good news right now, we could rocket.
And that's the thing. I truly believe, you know, with everything that's happening, we've made so many moves fundamentally. You know, I don't see how people could make videos and say, "Oh, forget popcorn," and it's like you trapped in AMC, but you want to get out of AMC, but you need popcorn to pop off so you can get out of AMC. I don't know. It's confusing to me. People put their foot in their mouths every day.
Let me read one comment before I boot this guy. Hitman says, you guys made people lose money with this stock from the get-go. I was not here on YouTube, Hitman, when Trey and Matt,
I was here.
I was not on YouTube, Mastalorian, when these doofuses were telling people that this thing was going to the moon and telling them to buy it at 40, 50, 60 bucks. I have been very consistent telling you guys to wait for a good entry in every play. So, Mr. Hitman, you guys have made people lose money. Don't ever fucking listen to any YouTuber, especially brand new traders that are telling you to buy something at the top of a run-up. That is idiocy. Could I be more clear?
Oh my gosh. Man, let me just say, I just wish we were back to where we once were, you know, like early 2022. I truly wish we were back there.
Mastalorian, were you making buy AMC videos when it was 60 bucks?
No, I was buying whole. I was making hold videos that I was holding. I was just telling people that I was doing. I was holding through that, hoping we were going to pump.
Were you making videos in May of 2021?
I'm still here. Yeah. I started in April.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, my first video was 3 reasons.
I didn't come
3
on the
reasons
scene
to
till
get out of
July.
AMC stock.
I came in July because I was so pissed at Matt and Trey for pumping their bullshit.
Say that again, Tony.
I said I did not start making videos till July because I got so angry at Matt and Trey pumping this bullshit, and they wouldn't ever answer any of my comments or my DMs.
That's
like,
what.
well, fuck.
Well, I won't say Trey. Trey didn't. Well, I saw okay. I got in like before I saw the YouTube videos, right? Because I had a friend tell me, "Hey, man, get into this," and so I started, looking at the price. I started looking at, Twitter. I saw people excited about it, so that's when I bought in and did my own due diligence behind the scene. I got a buddy that just kind of looks at everything, and then I started making videos when I saw Matt Kors go to his live stream and say Adam Aron's not gonna drop 8, or he's not gonna do something or something like that. And I'm like, I just know I seen him do it. Okay, now I gotta start making something, saying something. Or just, if I got some information, I'm gonna put it out there. Something that I find, I'm gonna put it out there. Just get in this and just whatever happens, people call me out, people make fun of me, people talk stuff. I don't care.
You're bulletproof.
I'm gonna be here for the apes, and I'm not leaving. Period.
I was gonna say, the reason why I started making videos in April was based off of that's kind of when the whole like Tom Zulolo fought $100,000 a share video started coming out.
I remember, bro.
And the first one I saw,
what was his name?
Like, what the fuck is
Tom Zulolo?
Tom Zulolo.
That guy is the biggest
really
fucking bullshitter.
Yeah, big following.
Like, I put him right up there with Lou and Al. Tom Zuzulo. What a fucking clown. There's very few people
that was what did it
call
for
out
me.
by
The first
name.
100,000.
Tom Zuzulo.
Let me hold on.
Al,
I'm sorry.
And
I'm
Frank
so
Nez,
sorry.
like the fucking the 4 horsemen of bullshit. Tom, Al, Lou, and Frank Nez. If you guys are tuning into that shit and you believe it, God help you.
I mean, I don't call him by his name. I call him Jeepers Creepers. But if you know why, you know why. He feeds on his victims every 23 years, comes back to feed again. But basically, Jeepers Creepers been wrong all week in my eyes. I don't know about you guys, but like I said, we have to watch other people. Some of you people that say, "Oh, you're watching other people." Well, the reason why we're watching these people is because these people are spreading misinformation and have no links. Don't drop you links. Trust me, bro. That's all they got for you. That's why I say, hey, or at least to those that's speaking negatively about the stock. How about you bring your DD to Twitter? Let us see some of your DD. Let's see some of us kind of sort it out and see if it's real or not. See if it's true or not. If you can't do that, then I don't know. But it is what it is. I'm not here to be saying who's the leader or who's this or who's that. That's not my thing. All I'm saying is we have to protect each other, the shareholders, from misinformation because, hello, if you fall for misinformation, you're out to play, and then that's another way shorts are able to get you out or make us lose, and we don't want to lose. I don't want to lose, so I'm still here.
Steven says, is it true Matt bought my $60 call that I sold? I was not selling calls in that run up. I had bought calls in May when it was running up, but I didn't sell any. I made a shit ton of money on. I had shares and I had calls in 2021, and I made the bulk of my money on those call options. Yes, I don't apologize for that. Make your money on options. Sell those options first. Options expire. Shares don't. All of my shares that I own in AMC right now are 100% free and paid for thanks to my options. So for all the people who think that I'm negative in this play or wonder why I'm so calm, I'm not negative in AMC. I made a fuck ton of money in June of 2021.
Hey, what's good, Bigums? Hey, Mass, you say you met Adam Aron. Oh, Tony, you met Adam Aron, right? Mass, you met Adam Aron?
And I met him in Dallas for about 5 minutes. Yep.
Mhm.
Mass, you met him too?
He met
Yes, sir.
he met him last 3 days ago.
So that confirms. So for those who says, hey guys, Adam Aron is this and that, have you met him yet and talked to him? Those out there watching and listening, spreading FUD, have you met him? Then you can talk. Because I talked to him.
Yeah.
I met him.
I would
I drove
say
all the
to-
way.
I
I
would
drove
say
way down
to,
south to go
'cause,
see him.
I mean,
Phil,
Lou, we
Phil,
went
where
down Marin
did
face
where
to face,
Phil, where did you meet him?
when he came here.
Disney Springs movie theater.
Orlando?
Yes, sir.
What
Met Adam Aron.
conversation?
Matter of fact, I wore this same shirt.
What conversation did you have?
Me and Adam, we talked about basically, short sellers, just simple shit. At that time, what was going on at that time? What movie was that? It was okay. This was before the reverse stock split, like the discussion. I was talking about, what's your plan for, short sell, what's your plan for, AMC? Kind of give me your guideline on that. Where do you see AMC in the future? I asked him about the synthetic shares, of course. And, he talks about Wall Street and stuff like that. But this is before the reverse stock split, I believe. And I had more questions, but I didn't get to answer because a lot of people was there. It was a lot of people. This is like, now, mind you, I live in, Orlando, where there's a lot of tourists. So a lot of people was there. But I basically got to ask some general questions. I didn't really get to ask much. Took a picture, minded my business. Now, some people want me to have a full-fledged conversation with them. I mean, I wanted to, but I couldn't because everybody was waiting, and my girl had to go, so I really couldn't stay too long. But because we had to wait for a long time just to talk to him after the movie. I mean, Avatar is like almost 3 hours, so we was damn near at AMC for like, I don't know, 5 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Someone said in the comments, Phil, notice that everybody that met Adam Aron loves him. What did that comment say?
I mean, if you be around him, he's a genuine person. I didn't feel anything.
Notice
negative
that all those that met him were yes voters.
There you go.
Some of us, my friend, know how to read financial statements and understand what the board is trying to do. If you don't agree with that, that's fine. That you have a different opinion, I respect that. But listening to my content where I walk through financial statements and how the company's losing money, I actually heard on a Twitter space call where a reporter explained to the people that the company's being shorted because it's troubled. They said, no, it's not. It's not troubled. If you think that this company is not troubled, then you are literally delusional. And I love the movies company. I love movies. I think that this company will be fine in 2024. But if you can't look at a financial statement, the income statement, the balance sheet, and understand it's troubled, you are seriously in need of some good guidance. And go talk to a fucking CPA, please. Don't take my word for it. Find your own personal someone who is independent that can give you a good read on the situation. They are a troubled company.
Oh, I forgot about this. When I did meet Adam, okay. So this is a funny story.
Phil, you're muted. Mediocre, I'm going to send you an invite. Phil, you're
I'm
still
doing
on
it
mute.
now.
That was so funny. I'm so sorry, but it was hilarious. But doesn't change anything. He's still the CEO, still the boss man. So straight up.
Mediocre coming to you. A link to join us.
I sent it to him. He should have it.
All right. I sent it to him on Discord as well. Look, if I say the company's troubled, guys, that's not me being negative. That's just like the black and white, the corporate finance.
We need cash. AMC needs cash. That's why we're buying popcorn. That's why we're getting credit cards.
There's a reason. Bags. There's a reason every company is shorted. The sooner you understand that, the easier it will be for you to make money in Wall Street.
Yeah, they're not going away. As long as we got any kind of debt, they're not going away.
Not only debt, Phil, but we're losing $225 million a quarter, and we have $600 million left. Do the math. Y'all can divide by 3, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I will tell you, like I've said on every live stream, it's not going to be chapter 11 when we get to 0. It's going to be chapter 11 when we get to 300 or 400 million, because the lenders are going to call the bullshit and it's game over. So all y'all that want the lawsuit to go against AMC, you're going to get a very bad result if this company cannot raise cash.
My thing is, like, if you're going to talk about litigations and all of this and that, have some evidence before you come to the tube. I don't
have it, Phil. They don't have evidence of shit.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, have something of substance. You know what I'm saying? Because it just looks. I'm just being me right now. You know. I just feel like a lot of these individuals out here fell for FUD from certain individuals, and now they're spreading the FUD for them unwillingly, probably not knowingly. You know what I'm saying? And now everything is kind of looking like it makes sense. And also other people that, you know, bought a little too high. I'm sorry. Didn't know that you bought in kind of high. Sorry. I got in single digits, so I ain't hurting like that. You feel me?
Phil, see, that's what you're telling us.
That's such a thing.
You got a good entry?
I'm sorry, say it again.
What you're trying to tell us is you were smart enough to get a good entry. You didn't listen to Lou.
Yes. Oh, man.
Matt before I got in and buy in at $40, 50, 60, 70.
Oh, hell no. I never. No. First of all, a share? Nah. And then the crazy, like I've heard stories of others who got in too high and put in so much money because, I mean, I don't blame them because at the time, the momentum, the buzz, it was just like, yo, I need to hurry up and get this bag in here. You know, and I get it. And I understand those people. But at the same time, you cannot come on here spreading FUD because you're upset that your bag is low. No, that's not how we gonna do this. That's not how I'm doing this. That's not being a grown up. That's being a crybaby. I'm sorry. So if you're gonna, you know, give information, make sure that information isn't, I don't know, tainted, you know, with personal feelings. You know, like that's why, Tony, I respect every video you're dropping, everything you say to me, because, you know, I don't see this other side of emotion coming out of you. You know, it's just like, hey man, here's the facts. Here you go, eat it.
Phil, I want to be straight up with everybody that's listening. You and I don't agree on a lot of shit, right, Phil?
Yeah, and that's okay. But
And that's okay
guess
because you're not an asshole, Phil. You know how to have an adult conversation with someone that doesn't agree with you.
I mean, some people.
No, I mean, but you go ham on people that attack you, and you should.
Oh yeah,
I ignore people that attack me because it's pointless. But Phil, you and I talk a lot, and we're still friends, and we don't agree on everything, but we have the same end goal in mind.
And that's why I'm here, right? So, with that being said, people, please do yourself a favor. Check out Tony's videos about reading a financial statement. I think it's one of the best videos I've seen. Educated me, showed me a lot because, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I am a music producer. Now, if you want to get in the studio and look clueless, that's where I come in and show you guys a few things. I'm an engineer, been doing it for quite some time. But yeah, man, I've learned a lot from you guys, and this entire community, from those who like me, those who don't like me. I've learned so much, and I want to thank everybody, man. Like, so much. I appreciate everybody.
Before you leave, Phil, I want Massalorian to chime in with some stuff because he's been quiet.
I'm running the time. I talk all the time. I'm listening to you guys.
People are going to think we're suppressing you, Massalorian.
Hey, I'll jump in.
Let Massalorian talk.
No one's suppressing me. No one's suppressing me. I'm in chat. I'm trying to get Steven in. There's the main things going on here behind the scenes. So trying to operate this. The production quality last night was terrible, so we're trying to make up for it tonight.
So much better tonight.
Yeah.
And just for those who
and I'm glad we got some of that.
My bad.
What do you think of my background?
Oh, mediocre. What's happening?
What's up, mediocre? Hey, mediocre. Are you dumb or dumber?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure that one out.
I'm just going to I'm going to fall on the sword. I'm dumber, mediocre.
I was told earlier that I was the and symbol in between, so I'm not sure. I don't know.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to the trolls for calling out our channels and giving us the advertisement. Have you monetized yet, mediocre? Or are you like over 1,000?
No, I'm not. See, that's the thing is, people want to say, "Oh, you're monetized. You're making." I don't. You guys know I don't give a shit about any of that. I care about the play. Phil knows that. Phil knows me. How are you, Phil? Anyway.
By the way, guys, Mediocre Trader, go check out his channel. I'll give him a shout out. This dude is legit.
Yeah, absolutely.
This
Please subscribe ASAP.
If you're not subscribed to him,
Steve's a good guy.
I know he doesn't put out a lot of content because he's not here for the money. But if you want a legit person who's going to help you learn how to trade, look, I'm going to give him my endorsement, and I don't hand those out freely. Don't hand them out easily, but he's got a good head on his shoulders.
All I got to say is I had fun in Boston with Mass and Adam Aron. It was a good time.
I know. Y'all slept in 24 hours. Y'all slept like 24 hours after that.
Seriously. Well, we didn't get home until almost 2 a.m. It was a late night.
It was.
Yeah, it's 11. It's 1 a.m. where I am.
3-7 in that picture. Touche, bro.
Well, you're crouched down with your poster.
Why are you like below Adam Aron's shoulders?
I'm on my knees. I'm on my get down to the level. I'm not staying up. I'm down on my knees.
Right. Why were you
so
on
I'm
your
taller
knees?
than Steven in reality, but you can't tell.
He is.
Why were you on your knees?
Fucks no. I was there
Because
because I
that
was
man
trying to
was
get
sitting
eye to
down.
eye with the gentleman. Yeah, he was sitting down. Yeah. Sitting down. He couldn't even stand up. He was so exhausted. Ready to fall
Look,
over.
hey,
Said,
Master
"Sit
Lorian, just a
down."
little tip. Just a little tip as a amateur photographer. All right. So my wife
Yeah.
is very tall. She's almost damn
Don't
as tall
kneel.
as me. Every
Mhm.
photo that she takes with her friends that are shorter, she always does that like crouching, bend the knees thing. I tell her every
Mhm.
time, don't do that shit. Stand up straight. It looks so much better. And yeah, you should not have been on your
I
knees
have
in
other
front of Adam
pictures.
Aron.
Well, Steve happened to put up the one picture that I hate. I have tons of other pictures. Actually, that's
Oh, I'll
the
change
picture,
that.
the
I'll
only
go
one of
change
me.
one.
No, that's the one. That's the one we have
Mediocre.
of me and you.
Can
That's
you
why.
pick a better backdrop than that?
No.
I like
He's
this
right
picture.
because that's the only picture we have of us together. So that makes sense now.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's why I used it.
That would make sense. Yep. That's the one I
The
sent you.
three of
Yep.
us together, that's the only picture that
Yep. I
exists.
gotcha. Yeah. No, we're good, bro. We're good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
I like
I was
it,
just trying
man.
to get because I'm too. I would have been too tall. My hair. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, here
Like
we go. It's
Mediocre.
never
All I can
gonna-
see on Mediocre is his
The
goatee.
chat is.
I also got a problem with whoever took that photo. Like you clipped
Who was
out
taking the
half of
pictures?
Mediocre's face. I'm a
The
big critic
manager
of
AMC.
photography, and that photo is not well done. You got Master Lorian and Adam Aron, but you clipped out the top half of Mediocre's face.
No, it's there. It's just because of it's that picture's on Twitter. That I'm only cropped out because of what I'm using it for the background.
Okay, I'll shut up.
No, you're
Oh,
good.
that's
Don't
why.
shut
Okay, I'm
up.
like, where is your head? Okay.
Yeah.
Dana says Tony is even bossier with his wife. So hey, my wife and I boss each other both around. I'm an Italian. She's a redhead. Fucking deal with it. This is a very strong relationship. Just because I boss her around, don't think she doesn't boss me around. But if you want relationship advice of how to survive as a man, yeah, don't let your wife boss you around. We're gonna start another channel about relationship advice.
Oh God, leave me out of that.
It's not gonna go over well, Master Lorian, because
no business.
I'm gonna
You're
fucking
starting to
turn
channel.
the tables. I'm gonna fucking turn the tables on these simps. my wife my wife knows I'm brutal. She will tell you I'm brutal, but she still loves me because she knows that I care about her. I just don't take any bullshit.
Same.
Yes. On my knees. Nice one.
Happy wife,
Walked
happy
right into
life.
that.
Bonnie says, happy wife, happy life. No,
Bruh,
Bonnie.
Somebody said Tony Andrew Tate Denaro. Wow.
Happy wife, happy life. That is a fucking bullshit narrative from the media, and fuck that shit. What? Come here. Come get on camera and tell us what you think. Your chicken? She's trying to back talk from the back room. Happy wife, happy life. That is bullshit, gentlemen. She said it's the truth. If I'm not happy, you're not happy. All right. Hey babe, let's do a dating channel.
Facts.
I would love to have her come on here and share some of her tidbits. And she's not going to agree. She's not going to agree with me on a 90% of shit, but that's okay because we know how to work it out. And I never back down from shit.
That's a great comment. Yeah, my wife threw me out of the car. Tony told me I was fucking done. Get out of her car. Was gonna leave me at Mass's house.
You know how many times I've had that argument in my life, Mediocre? Get out of the car.
Am I lying, Mass? Did you not
get
throw me
out of the car then. Go ahead and get out.
Yeah,
Not
she
with-
was
not
about
with
to.
Scarlett. Not with Scarlett. I don't know that I've ever kicked Scarlett out of a car.
I'm not even sure what I did wrong.
I have kicked other bitches, other ladies out of the car. Don't fucking play me.
I love it.
You can walk your ass home.
Oh boy.
Devastator says Tony looking for all the smoke from the. She don't care, guys. She don't care. She knows. She's been with me for 7 years. She knows exactly what I'm about. There's nothing I can say to you that she hasn't already heard. And gentlemen, own your fucking life. Know your worth. Know your value. Don't put anybody on a pedestal. Don't put a CEO on a pedestal. Don't put a fucking woman on a pedestal. Unless you're like just sitting from home and doing nothing and she's bringing home all the bacon, you better get on your fucking knees every night. But if you are the breadwinner, that's the end of the story right there.
Well, Tony, I got a problem. I gotta give them some credit, but this guy right here, this is Silverback. You know what I mean? That's the greatest of all time. The GOAT.
Adam Aron.
I'm teasing. I'm totally
He
teasing.
brings home. I doubt that his wife brings home millions of dollars. So he probably is the GOAT in his house, and he well deserved.
No, you said don't put any CEO on a pedestal. I would just put him up there. You know, look, there he is. He's a
Muskie
fucking
says-
CEO of a company.
Muskie
people. Who
says
gives a
Tony's
shit?
going to be in the doghouse. No, I'm never going to be in the doghouse, Muskie.
I mean, I don't hate the guy or nothing.
She said, "Yeah, you are." No, I will never be in the doghouse. Come talk your smack on camera, babe. Yeah, she won't come on camera and talk shit. We have a healthy love-hate relationship. I'm Italian, she's redhead. That's the end of the story. No simps allowed. Yes, Dark Latin. Exactly. If you fell into the simp mindset, you've already lost. And if you don't know what a simp is, then you're probably one. Man, this conversation really went left quick, Mastalorian. Help me.
You fucking do that every time I come on.
Right down
I
the
swear
right
to
down the
God,
shit.
as soon as I fucking walk in, that's it. The fucking show turns. And I didn't say shit. I just been sitting here nice. I just for the record.
I know. No one's blaming you.
Fucking A. I don't know.
Did someone mention in the chat that list again?
Yeah, I seen it.
You did.
Is it true?
I don't know. I didn't go look.
I think so.
Yeah,
I've
'cause we
seen a
don't
couple. Yeah, no, I just. But it's like it's so funny because it's like 10 different people, different names of avatars. People saying we're back on the threshold list. We're back. I mean, how many nights have we sat here and done a live stream and said that we're back on the threshold list? Holy fuck!
There's hey, Mastalorian, there's people live streaming every night for 4 hours to pop champagne when BBBY is on the threshold list while it drops 10% a day.
But it's
Tell me it fucking
party
matters.
stream,
It
the
does
party
not
stream.
fucking matter. Threshold list is bullshit. These guys are popping champagne.
gotten us absolutely nowhere.
At 9 p.m. because it's BBBY is on the threshold list. And meanwhile, the next morning it drops 10%.
You wanna know
Guys,
what
it
I
does
care
not
about?
fucking matter.
I care about
Get
max
over it.
fucking pain more than I care about the threshold list.
I care about cost to borrow. That's all I care about, honestly.
Which is good right now, right?
Yes, it's fucking
That's in our
excellent.
favor. CTB. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we don't need that many other conditions to pop the stock again. We just don't. I think the biggest thing maybe we're going to be missing the next time this goes off is going to be all that influx of fresh cash, right? That was sitting around. I do. I think that has a lot to do with that major run up. People just went crazy.
Steven says, why isn't AMC share price worth more than Berkshire Capital?
Oh my God.
Market cap.
He's on fire tonight.
I know
Market
he's
cap.
laughing. I know he was laughing as he was typing that out. He just wanted me to say it. I love my viewers. My guys get this so much. I fucking love my viewers and my subscribers, like the people that get financials. Every play is so easy to predict when you just read the financial statements and what the company's telling you. Steven, I love you, bro. For a young dude, you are wise beyond your years.
A pain in the ass, but pretty smart kid.
Now.
No, I like Steven. He's in my Discord with me right now, as a matter of fact. I got him muted so I can't hear him.
Got him muted. I'm going to block him on my channel right now. All right, guys, a few minutes to get in your pressing questions. What do you got? Pressing questions. Hit us hard. But don't ask the question if you don't want to hear the answer. If it's a clickbait channel question, go ask it on the clickbait channel. If you want real talk, you got 3 people to give it to you right now. Couple more minutes. Let's see how many viewers.
Possible, Danny R. Anything's possible.
That comment is fucking fire.
What? What
Fucking Danny.
What
He says,
what
Mass, I heard
comment?
Biden had Trump arrested, couldn't run for president, improve the economy. Danny's on the screen.
Oh, God.
You want to talk about
You want to talk about what? Crocs?
Are we talking about the stock, like
CROX.
the footwear company?
ticker? I don't know, Broke Ape. Maybe. It might just be spelled wrong. I don't know.
I think he's
Phil
trolling you.
says the outcome will be the lawsuit on April 27th. Best educated assessment.
Wow.
You guys differing?
My crystal
this
ball.
judge
Look,
really
I've
has
consulted with the 8 ball multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm not trying to overtalk you. Go ahead.
No. You go. Sorry. Go ahead.
I said I've consulted with the 8 ball multiple times, and although I hope that the chancellor issues some sort of judgment on the 27th, I can't promise you that's going to happen. Adam Aron told you guys, right? He told you guys that there's going to be a settlement. You guys talk about it. Tell us what you think.
I asked him a question. And the question that I asked, just so people can understand the context of the conversation, was if the judge dismissed the case, right? If the judge threw it out, I still wanted the shares, right? You offered them to Allegheny for the lawsuit as a settlement. I didn't think it was fair that we got shafted. So I asked him, regardless of what happens in the case, if it was dismissed or whatever, and they didn't, would they honor that agreement with the shareholders? And he said, you want the shares, don't you? And I said yes. And he said basically that there's going to be a settlement, and that in that settlement, shareholders are going to get the shares. So that's basically what I heard from him. And I think he said pretty confidently out in public that he believes that the settlement's going to succeed, right? You know, when is it going to happen? I don't know. But in that conversation, he said the judge just couldn't allow it to go through because she had to look at it because of the type of lawsuit it was. Whatever that means. I'm not an attorney. I don't know the answer to why.
Class action.
Right. There's rules or something she has to follow. That's what he said to me. So knowing that, that's what I was informed with.
So Adam, if I hear what you're saying, Adam Aron thinks that the end result of all of this will be a settlement.
Correct.
All right. Well, that is Adam Aron's words, guys. That you want our guesses. Our guesses are not as good as a CEO Harvard graduate with 40 years of experience on Wall Street. I'm going to defer to what the gentleman says.
I was very proud of the questions, and the questions that I asked came from the community, right? Like the people who are...
Yeah, he had good questions. He did.
Yeah. The people, who were in the Discord. Actually, there's going to be some more people meeting with him in Las Vegas, and I asked them to ask a specific question. I'm not going to tell you what the question is because I'll let the person who asked Adam give that question up. But I wanted to ask another question, but I didn't have it written down or the time. So somebody's going to ask a very good question when he's in Las Vegas. That's pretty much on that.
If you guys have questions that you want asked to Adam Aron in Vegas, let us know in the chat, in DMs, in Discord, wherever. We got people that will be there in Vegas, and we will ask the hard questions. Let us know what you want to ask to Adam Aron.
Right, that's what I did. I asked people what they wanted to know.
We're not going to shy away from that. We'll ask whatever y'all want. Just let us know.
Listen, he's just a guy. He's the CEO of a company. He's giving you his time to ask him questions, right? Like you can ask him anything you want. I went prepared. That's all I'm saying, right? Like I knew for people who wanted answers, I was going to ask specific questions. So I went out of my way to make sure that I did that. Some people may not ask any questions, right? But I wanted to ask questions.
When is the Vegas? It's like April 28th, right? Mediocre, the day after the preliminary injunction.
I'm not sure when it is, to be honest.
Steven
knows.
Steven, tell us.
Yeah,
he's in Vegas.
On the 20th, they're in San Diego. I know that.
Dana wants to know, Steven, are you single? Dana's cheating on Massalorian already. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. I misread that. Steven, are you single-handedly shit down the FUD? Sorry, Mass. I didn't mean to ruin. I didn't mean to ruin your relationship, Massalorian.
I would have never. Thank God. I would have never gotten to bed.
I hope I made Dana laugh.
Dana's great people. I love Dana.
Steven says he will be here the day after the preliminary hearing. So, Steven, I saw on Twitter that you had told me, Steven, there was going to be a second movie screening in Vegas because there was such overwhelming demand. But I saw someone on Twitter say that it was canceled. The second screening was canceled. Is that true?
So he is going to ask that question. You're going to ask that one first, huh? I like it. I like it.
Steven says his first question is regarding a forward split once we were profitable.
You like that one, Tony?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I would prefer a low
By the way,
float.
do you guys know if either side can appeal a decision by the judge? Are either side of the courtroom allowed to do that once the decision's made?
Yeah, I saw the question, Mass. I don't know. I think you can always appeal anything, right?
Yeah,
I'm not
I would
sure
assume. I would assume.
But if they agreed, why would they be able to? That might be something that they agreed to not do in the agreement.
If there's a settlement, that obviously will not be appealed. If the judge makes a decision that one side doesn't agree with, that could be appealed. Stephen, Jesse says, ask him if the showing his underwear in the tray video was intentional.
That's a good question. That is a good question.
I wonder about that myself often.
Dan says we need some live streaming in the courtroom. Yeah, I just don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know if it's worth to go cover this story. I just don't know. I don't know if it's just going to be a big nutburger is the problem. Is it worth it to go all the way out to Allegheny, which is what from here, Western PA, to try to cover it in case it's going to be nothing. It'll just be a lot of money spent coming back empty-handed. Phil says that's probably why they arrived at an agreement to avoid an appeal.
I think Allegheny
all right, guys,
just
it's
wants a
1:30.
Allegheny wants a payoff, and AMC wants to get back to raising money. That's the whole fucking background behind the settlement. That's it. It's just that simple. AMC wants to get back to the process of raising money, and Allegheny wants some compensation.
Yes. All right, let's wrap this up. I'm going to hit the sack. Let's just say thanks real quick to the mods tonight, everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys being respectful to each other. Thank you to, who's in there? Yuka, Pam, Prometheus, a couple of my mods. Tony, you have some mods you want to shout out?
I just want to say, gentlemen, know your worth. And I went left again there, Mass. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Yes, thanks for coming by. Thanks to Phil for real for coming by. I didn't get to say last night to Bigums for coming by. Mediocre Trader, Super
Bigums
Steven,
came in tonight. Did you see him?
Everybody in the chat.
In the chat?
I did. Yeah, I saw him. Yeah.
As well.
Yep.
I opened his live too. I just sat in there. I said hello to him, and
we love you guys. Go fucking see a movie. Buy some overpriced popcorn. If you don't want to buy shares, the best thing you can do right now is fucking contribute to the revenue of this company. The fundamentals. I'm gonna keep preaching.
Keep your head up.
I'm gonna keep preaching the church of fundamentalism. Fundamentals matter. Buy the concessions, buy the tickets, go to the movies. Don't be one of these hater channels that never goes to a fucking movie. Do you notice, Mastalorian, that not one of the haters ever posts going to a movie?
No, you do all the time too. I don't even do it as much as you do. I don't.
I do it because I support this company. But have you noticed that all of the people that hate this company never post supporting this company? That's like a fucking eye-opener.
Which leads you to wonder, do they still own the stock? That's all.
I don't even care whether they own it or not.
They still really own the
stock.
Why
aren't they doing something to support the company?
Or buying
Talking
popcorn.
about it on YouTube is bullshit. Put your fucking money where your mouth is. I do it every week. I go to movies. I fucking spend $50 on concessions by myself or $100 with my wife. Fucking support your company.
Exactly.
And if you
Yeah, it's the
don't,
one
I
thing
can't take you
you
seriously.
can do, right?
You're
That we
just
all
some
can do.
random person who bought a stock overpriced and you're mad.
Yep.
People talking
And
about
1796 Patriot, thanks for reminding me. Thank you to Rob for coming on tonight and explaining himself and giving everyone the scenario so they knew who was talking, what he was talking about. If you guys,
thank you, Rob.
Rob came up, who had the conversation with Aaron. Yeah, thank you for coming on. And in case anyone's wondering,
Seems like
I
a
can't
straight
release
up-
the tape until he gives me permission. If you'd like the tape, go to his YouTube page and leave a comment. Say, let Mass release the tape.
We're going to reach out to Adam Aron also and ask him if we can get like his permission to release it, even though he probably didn't know he was being recorded. But he did not say anything in this 30-minute conversation that you guys have not already heard. Is that a fair statement, Massalorian?
I think so. I think that's pretty fair. Yeah. I think that's very fair, honestly. Yeah.
So
Mass, I have a question. Was it basically the same thing he said Sunday night when we were there?
I mean, not word for word, of course, because it was, a different night and they were in a different scenario and everything else. But pretty much the message was very close. If it was something completely out of line, I would have gone right to Adam Aron with it and said, if it was completely out of line, I would have said, listen, I'm dropping this tape. You got 24 hours to make a response or come on and explain things, or I'm going to release this. But I don't know that would do anything because I don't know that anything was said that he's not saying in the public eye. That's all.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. And I can't play the tape for you guys to check it out until I get permission.
There was nothing in that 30 minutes that you have not already heard me or Mass or Mediocre or Adam Aron talk about. There was no revelations.
True.
But if you want a CEO to tell you there's billions of synthetics, you're going to be mad. I get it. He doesn't. He's not on that path, guys. So,
and he knows that.
You got your decision to make.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you guys
and if
again.
you're upset with the answers, yeah. Thanks, Steve. If you're upset with the answers and you don't like them, go back, figure out where you heard that question from. Like we did tonight, we talked about where the came from some of them, and find out from those people if they have comments on or do a lot.
All right, so you're saying go ask. Are you saying go ask Lou and Al for proof of the 500 billion synthetics?
Pretty much. I mean, he was just saying tonight there's still synthetics, and that we're gonna run. I'm gonna run your head.
Who was saying
Lou.
that?
Run.
Lou was saying that.
Lulu from the Bronx. Yeah, yeah. All right, we're out of here. Good night, guys. Thank you so much. Love y'all. You guys want to sign out?
We love you. We care about you.
We
want you.
Bye, guys. Have a great one. Thanks for coming by.
Hey, we want you to preserve your capital and be here in 5 years. So that's the bottom line.
Yes, 100%. All right, T. Thank you, man. Love you. Have a good night. Everyone, have a good night.